are live again.
Welcome to FBVtv podcast. For whatever reason, we had some technical difficulties, which seems to happen every stream now. Not always technical difficulties, but we always call them technical difficulties, don't we?
Technically, they are difficult.
Yes, they are.
Very difficult.
There's difficulties, and they can get very technical. I'm your host, Tom, and with me is Mr. Fowler, who gets a reprieve because, believe it or not, last time when we thought we were live, he spilled that entire Red Bull across the entire. I know you got a reprieve this time, but I wasn't gonna let you get away with it.
Yeah,
there's
still a stain.
I wasn't gonna let you get away with that.
That's
so. Yeah.
I got excited.
If there was one thing I could do on this entire podcast, it was to make sure that everyone watching, basically Austin and my mom.
Austin, what's up, man?
Speaking of which, is he off of work now? Is he no?
Was basically to ensure that everyone knew that Fowler spilled an entire Red Bull. And with me, as always, is Mr. Matt.
Hello.
Bear Sanchez.
Hello. Rar. Welcome to the cave.
There it is. All right, so Jesus Christ. Hey, have you ever been in a situation where you had to pretend to have a natural conversation that even though you just had a natural conversation?
I think we should try that. Just try it. I want to see how.
I feel like it's really hard to recover.
Yeah, it is. Let's save K-Cars for last.
Oh.
Yeah, we could get back to that.
We'll bridge into it. We'll segue into it by asking you about Japan, and then we'll get to K-Cars.
Right.
So we're gonna do it backwards, Matt.
Hello.
How's the mechanic life?
It's a love-hate relationship with that thing. I'm telling you, we had a car in the shop the other day, and
I'm gonna make sure we're still live.
Yeah. Oh no, we're definitely live. I shared it on Facebook, and for anybody who's seen it on Facebook, please like, subscribe, share,
comment,
whatever you got to do. If you want to do Q&A, whatever, just ask questions. We are viewing, so
that's right. We're watching.
But
sorry, hang on one second. A special thank you to our guest producer Trish. It was not her fault. I verified
it's her
that.
Second time doing this. Actually,
is that actually? It is. She's not a guest
anymore.
She actually produced an entire podcast for us about 8 minutes ago.
All of 13 seconds.
About 8 minutes ago.
It was awesome. It was the intro, and I think that was about it.
So we actually started right on time to be late.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us the first and second time. We apologize for you sitting and watching 30 seconds of our intro video and it never going live. So we rectified that situation. We apologize. And, in life there are lessons, and I think we learned our lesson, and I promise it will never happen again.
It will definitely happen again.
Do not do it again,
It
Tricia.
will never happen again.
It'll happen.
I promise.
Stop doing it.
Later, this podcast maybe even.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's a love-hate relationship. I had a car in the shop not too long ago. I'm not going to say customer's name or the vehicle I was working on or anything.
Name and shame.
But
was it a Dodge Neon?
No, definitely not.
Was it a Dodge Ram?
No.
Okay. Was it a Dodge anything?
No, not
Plymouth?
a Dodge. But I did finish Mike's build on his truck. Yee. It's ready to yee once again.
That's right.
But
so if you're watching this, please come pick up your fucking truck, dude.
Hey, your bill.
He's already got it. He's already got it.
Mike, come on.
He's got it back, I think. But
he finds out from the podcast. It's been ready for a week.
What the fuck? But it's a love-hate relationship right now, man. I had a vehicle in the shop, man, and the customer had to get a rental car, and he's calling every day. What's wrong with the car? What can we do to fix the car? He doesn't really have a lot of money. So I'm sitting here diagnosing for the next 2 days on this fucking thing, and I test all the wires, check the wiring, check the signal wires, check the ground wires, check the sensor, and the only thing I can come up with is the computer is fucked. This thing is destroyed.
And they never like hearing that.
So, my boss, great guy, he was like, let's try and make it cheaper for the customer. Let's go ahead and replace the sensor just in case maybe there was a mishap with the test or whatever. Put the sensor in, same issue. Well, 2 days go by, the customer's calling complaining, where is my car? Little did I know, and from what the office guy just found out, was that he went to jumpstart a vehicle and had the wires backwards and fried the fucking computer. The worst thing you can fucking do, and for anybody that doesn't fucking know, is please just be honest with your fucking mechanic.
Yeah.
We're going to find out either way.
Eventually.
One, and
it's going to cost you money on their journey to do it.
And two, if you have a rental car, just keep getting in that fucking rental car and keep spending that fucking money when you could have just been honest in the first place and we could have got it fixed right the first day instead of having to retest all these wires. And people really, I think we're really underappreciated, especially during like this whole COVID thing. And like it,
Yeah.
I was working in car, like there was a car I worked on and it was the nastiest thing you'd ever see in your life. And you got to get under the dashboard to do some dash work, some actuators or whatever the case may be, or test some wires, test a computer. And the floor is covered with cigarette butts. Like, come on, man.
Dude.
That's the worst. Like, you got
Looks
the
like
ashtrays full,
roaches.
and they were like, fuck the ashtray. You know what? My Rubbermaid floor mats are okay, so we'll just throw them on the floor and stomp it with our foot while we're hitting the gas. Like,
Or like where it looks like somebody had like the snack apocalypse happen.
oh, man.
And
I'm
just like
telling
fucking
you.
food crumbs
Or the
and
people
things.
that are like the hoarders
Dude,
that got just
the
everything sitting in there.
hoarders that have children.
Yes.
The worst. Because
The
then you have
worst.
all the trash and hoarding and the kids throwing shit.
Melted crayons.
There was this-
Puke.
There was this one.
Lots of puke.
There was this
Like
one
the
car
car
that
that we
came in.
flipped.
They had a fucking lizard that got stuck between their 6x9 custom speaker box in the back window.
Jesus Christ.
It turned into a fucking skeleton. That's how much
Yeah,
it
fossilized.
fucking- yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even the
Or
even the flies,
mummified, rather.
even
Not
even
not
the-
fossilized.
even
mummified.
the fly. Well, there was a skeleton of
Yeah.
a fucking lizard back there because he just fucking died and was like, you know what, I can't get from behind this guy.
I know a store downtown that might be interested in that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's true.
but
It has a story,
It does.
so like it could be sold.
That's true.
It's a speaker lizard. Somebody will pay for that.
the guy lives right down the street from me. I
Yeah.
think the guy with the lizard behind the speaker.
Oh, nice.
He
Oh,
does.
really?
And he was like, man,
Wait, did you get the lizard?
No. I left it in there.
Oh.
I didn't know if the customer was sentimental to it. So
This
I
might be his
just leave
pet
it in there.
lizard. This is pet
Hey,
lizard.
you know what? You'll be surprised what you find in a customer's
Hey.
car, and they're like, "Why did you touch that?"
Hey, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's normally a double-ended dildo
Yeah.
or their gun.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the two. I was
Which
working
is-
at
dude,
TLC.
Don't
one
drop
by
your
the time-
fucking car off at a mechanic
yeah,
shop and leave
this
your
is-
firearm.
This is the
in it.
worst thing.
Yeah.
How many cars do you think you've gotten into over the time as a mechanic where somebody has left a firearm in it, and not just left it in it, but left it in there in the open or directly in the area where you have to work?
Yeah.
More than I can count.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was working at TLC one time, and this is back when they were doing oil changes or whatever.
Yeah.
And the car went through the wash, and the next thing you know, this customer is just hollering at everybody. Who the fuck took my blunt from the fucking cup holder? The manager was like, call the fucking cops then.
Yeah.
If you have shit like that and you're at TLC, like, come on, dude. Like, everybody there smokes weed. Like, come on, the fucking manager there, he was doing coke at the time.
Dude.
Like,
Oh,
dude, if you're gonna be fucking leaving your drugs, your gun, your fucking money, whatever, like, and it even says on any shop you go to, we are not responsible for any missing shit. Like, I'm not the type of person that just goes through somebody's car, even if I got to find like the locking lug nut key. I don't like going through somebody's car, but like for anybody else who is like a distrustful person, you should not leave your shit in the car.
Yeah.
Like, please clean that shit out. Please clean the cigarette butts up. That would help out a great deal. And be honest with the mechanic. That's like the number one thing, which customer is never correct. Never. They are never right. But
That's not true.
honesty is policy
That's not true.
when it comes to working on your car. If you were going down the road and you hit a brick wall, like, you know, please just tell us.
See.
Like,
I think
Something-
you would know.
something.
Yeah.
A brick wall.
Just
You'd be
well, I'm
surprised.
just saying, this
No,
guy
first of
was
all,
going down the
look.
road in a Dodge Ram, his fucking Warlock.
Look,
And he doesn't even know what he hit. Apparently, how do you not know? I don't know. But it bent the frame.
Warlock.
And when
Yeah.
I went to put everything back together, it was not aligned right. And
Yeah.
there was no stress cracks or damages or anything to the frame. You couldn't tell. But the arm that
It's
holds the
tweaked it.
control arm was tweaked up just by
Yeah.
like a half an inch. But he doesn't know what he hit. Like, how do you not know? And it fucked your
'Cause
car
he
up
was
that
drunk.
bad. No.
Come on,
Young
man.
military guy.
no.
Yeah,
Here's the thing-
young
no,
military
yeah,
guy.
sure.
Okay.
He was
Look,
drunk.
look,
Drunk.
You're not helping his case
I
here.
know.
Dude.
I was trying to.
People are fucking dumb, first of all. By and large, I'm dumb. I'm a person, so I know this. But they're specifically dumb about things that they shouldn't be. I remember when I was going through the training and stuff that they did for Firestone, because they have the whole like corporate wing and stuff like that. So you're supposed to come there with mechanical know-how, and they're supposed to instill like this sort of like corporate ideology into you.
Right.
And the one thing that they did that was really true, that they said, is that the car that most people bring you to get repaired is their second largest investment in their life after their house.
Yeah. I can definitely believe that.
And you know, and after having their whole thing was like, you got to make sure you take care of the customer of this thing because it's their second largest investment and it's their baby and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized it's like, it is the second largest thing in their and investment in their life. Why the fuck do they not know how it works, even in the slightest amount? I'm not saying you have to be a mechanic.
It's like owning a house and not knowing how to open the windows.
Exactly. Yeah. Essentially, you're like, wait, how do you not know how this works? How do you not even understand the basics?
What's a water heater?
Yeah, how would you ever like get taken advantage of like by a shady mechanic, which there are definitely people that do that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen if you even spent like an hour or two a week for like a month educating yourself on how a car works in general.
Jesus Christ, watch a 3-hour YouTube video.
Hold on.
But I mean,
to piggyback off of that though, you got the people that take it to the extreme, and
no.
Google their problems, YouTube it,
and then tell you you're wrong,
and then tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm not saying that, but you should still like the amount of times where I had to talk to people as if they were a 2-year-old to explain a very simple concept for why a repair was necessary.
What?
Absolutely.
Why is an alternator so expensive?
Wanted to swallow a bullet every day.
Can I just drive it without the alternator?
And you know what? There are people like that too. I got a shake.
You got what?
They'd be like, I got a shake, and like the whole front end is destroyed.
Dude,
like,
yeah.
You know.
I remember when this was back when I worked at Sears. There was a guy, we called this truck the fire truck. And this is because afterwards he still kept coming to us after this repair. So he had gotten.
So you ended up being married to it.
Oh, dude, yeah, 100%. Yeah. So he had gotten a wheel bearing done. I don't know where, somewhere else. It was on a Ford F-150, and they didn't either. It had like a supreme parts failure, like the bearing had no grease in it from the factory or something.
Now, is it the bearing with the inner and outer, and then you got to?
No, it's the composite bearing that's part of the rotor.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it just fucking locked up. Like the bearing just stopped spinning. And if you've ever driven something that's got locked up brakes or a locked up bearing or anything on one of the wheels where it doesn't want to go, you kind of realize immediately because your fucking vehicle goes and abruptly this direction.
Yes.
Fuck
yep.
you.
Right.
Yep. And it doesn't matter what you do, it fights you.
I had that problem. On the fucking Jeep, remember?
Yeah, I remember. I do not. That Jeep was a death trap.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
I loved that
out of
Jeep
your
though.
hands. And
I
out
fucking
of
loved.
mine.
Loved that Jeep though. I loved it.
Disgusting. So this guy, instead of being like, "Wow, why is my truck pulling really hard?" Suddenly, something's wrong. I should look at it. Just kept driving, and then he noticed for sure there's a grinding noise happening now because it just had like ran through it and just kept going. And he's like, "No, I'm not going to pull over to get it looked at and or tow it or see what's going on. This is a crazy noise that's just developed." And we're talking. This is in a span of like 5 miles of driving. Like from base towards the mall. And it goes from being normal to pulling really hard to grinding to his front left wheel catches on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the smoke billowing out is what finally got him to stop the car.
That's what got me to stop the Jeep.
Dude.
But I made it to Food Lion, though. I didn't make it that far.
This guy is so lucky. Someone drove by that had a fire extinguisher in their car.
Holy shit.
Stops.
Was the tire actually on fire?
Dude, everything was on fire.
That's fucking awesome.
Sprays it off. They drag it in on a tow truck for us to look at. And I remember because they gave it to the lead mechanic at the time. His name was Johnny. And he looks at it and he goes, "I don't want to touch this piece of shit." And this customer's an idiot.
Do you know how many times that has been said at any shop?
And here's the best part. We go, here's what you have to be replaced. Here's what has to be replaced. You got to get the control arms, upper and lower, all the bushings.
Because all
the wiring,
fire, right?
Yep, all the brakes, every single part, every
lines.
single part on that axle and hub and everything, spindle, the whole nine replaced. Because it is what it is. So put all those parts on there, and then goes, you need a rim. Because
did the rim end up warping because of how
the
hot
thing it got so fucking hot, it didn't just burn mark the rim. It discolored because they're aluminum. It discolored the rims and warped it a little bit.
That's
and we're like, this is a danger. It's dangerous.
It's aluminum. It's
you could have it. And he goes, no. It's like you just authorized like $1,700 worth of repairs. What's $200 more for like a junkyard rim and a new tire? Like you have to get the new tire anyways. And he's like, just put on the old rim. I'm like, I'm so confused. There's a major argument. Doesn't do it. Puts the new shit on there. And I don't know, that truck still might be out there driving somewhere. But he came back like 3 more times in the next year to get work done, and I would always know it's the fire truck because you could see the silver, and then this part is like gold and black of the rim from where the fire was on it. And I believe that like he hit a pothole probably one day, and that fucking rim just shattered in half, and he's dead in a ditch probably,
dude,
because he didn't listen.
Because you're talking about it weakens the structural integrity of the actual rim itself, and it could potentially have become brittle.
Yes, and then break. Yes,
and then literally shatter.
Yes,
but so what we do at our shop is we like kind of prioritize like what is needed like right then and there, and then we work down the list. And a warped rim / burned rim or brittle rim or whatever, that would have been on the top like tier.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it was part of the here's the required
Yeah.
things, here's the safety things.
Yeah,
and they fought until the manager just let him have it.
Yeah.
Which is the most ridiculous thing. That's why eventually when I became the manager, nobody ever got anything. They just got the whole service or no service.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what?
Because if you do a half service like something like that, you end up doing yourself a disservice and the customer, right? Because you end up having a future problem that they're going to have to pay even more to fix.
That's why I like working at a mom and pop store, because when you have the corporate life and you got all that going on, there's a lot of politics involved in it.
Because somebody above you will just say, "Just make them shut up. I'm tired of them calling me."
Exactly. Whereas like we're at, like we'll do the work, and then if they're like, okay, well I found one more thing, but I mean you kind of need it, then it's like, okay, well we'll work with the customer to get it done, because we definitely don't want you to be out there driving unsafe. 1 and 2, we do it that way. It gets done, and then it's a comeback customer. Yeah, it's a customer that'll come back because you took care of them so well. You know, especially with prices.
Like ideally, yeah, that's the way it goes.
You would want, that's the way you want it to go.
But sometimes,
dude, it is way worse than that.
I remember speaking of customers that just like don't care. There was a rental car that got brought to us. I think it was Hertz, and they said the customer caught a flat tire, didn't notice it, was driving. And like it went completely flat, you know. And this is a Ford. It was like a Ford.
It didn't have those low profile tires on.
No, it was a Ford. Not the Focus, but the replacement for the Focus.
The Fiesta.
Yes, it was a Fiesta. Yeah. And so this was like 2016, and this was brand new.
Was it green? Because I've seen only green.
No, this was like a silver blue. I've got a picture of it still on Facebook. I'll show this to you. Remind me after the podcast to show you the picture of this. Yeah. So the customer keeps driving. And the tire goes flat. The light comes on. They're like, "Oh shit! Like there's something wrong." They don't notice it as it's starting to tug and do the same thing. I'm not paying attention to the car's talking to me, and they kept driving. Tire goes completely flat. They keep driving. And they're like, "Well, I'm in the Merc in a bad side of town. I can't stop." That was their excuse, and so they kept driving and kept driving.
Understandable.
And then they go. The noise went away.
Oh, well, then it's not a problem anymore. You just keep going.
And I'm not sure how, because it was the passenger front wheel.
Check engine
on
light
a front wheel drive.
I opened the hood, and it's still there.
There was just the hub of the rim attached to where, bolted to the rotor face.
Jesus.
And, maybe this much of the spoke of the rim left. The complete barrel of the rim was gone. The tire everything was gone.
And
it was literally three-wheeling. It was three-wheeling. No, it had to have been digging even more into the ground with this thing like a fucking propeller, and they just kept driving.
That's like that the minivan that showed up at Waffle House that one night.
Yes.
Yeah, I sent it to my friend Laura, and she posted it up on Reddit, and it made the front page of Reddit.
Yes.
That shit was insanity.
Just rolling in.
Just drunk woman said, "Oh yeah, I heard something. I didn't know it was wrong." Literally, the entire left side, the mirror's missing. Mm-hmm. The entire left driver's side of the van is just smashed up from where she sideswiped something. She went up on the curb and ran into something. Her headlight is hanging out. Her headlight's hanging out, and both of her fucking tires are completely gone, and it's just ground down rim on both driver's side. It was absolutely insane.
And then she'll show up to a mechanic's shop later the next day and be like, "I don't know what happened to it, but you guys worked on it last, so it's your fault."
Dude.
and that was the Gillis Hill Waffle House, and she said it happened on Bragg Boulevard.
Yeah. Dude, we do oil changes on some shit. Dude. We'll do oil changes or just little minor things, a valve cover gasket, and then the next thing you know, oh, my brakes are wobbly, and y'all, it wasn't doing that before, and then y'all had it. We're like, "Come on, dude, really?"
It's even better is you do a basic service, like tire rotation. and then the transmission goes out.
Yeah.
And they're like, you, and you're like, absolutely
I
not.
got a truck
Absolutely
sitting
not,
in the
dude.
shop right now. It's a F350. It's the 10-cylinder, and Tony went to take it out on a test drive because they thought it was rear end noise. In the middle of the test drive, the tranny just completely blows out on it, man.
Yep.
It doesn't go forward no more. Doesn't go reverse no more. So now I'm
Sounds like a strong transmission.
very. Oh yeah. Will, I should have showed you this the other day. There's a guy on Marketplace selling a F-150 or a Toyota
F-150.
Tacoma or whatever.
It was an F-150. Yeah.
F-150, and I don't know if he didn't have any good English or whatever the hell was going on, but it said it has a very strong transmission, but it doesn't go in reverse. But it's a very strong transmission. I was like, damn, that fucking forward gear must have been so powerful it lost reverse.
Yeah, first gear rip reverse. And
Yeah.
say, come here, you little bitch.
No, hold on.
Get over here.
I gotta find it and actually say it the way that it's said.
It's
oh
ridiculous.
my god, it was bad.
But as far as like,
Oh, here it is. They reversed went off on this truck, so truck does it not run in reverse? It's a work truck, really strong transmission, been changed once already, make an offer. Let me say it one more time for you guys. You're not having a stroke. This is just how I'm reading it. I promise.
think he had a
All right?
stroke.
Let me say it one more time.
maybe both.
They reversed went off on this truck, so truck does it not run in reverse? It's a work truck, really strong transmission, been changed once already, make an offer.
I'll give him $250 for it. $250.
And he wants
$30.50.
and it's a 2000 Ford F-150
he
XL,
wanted like
and he wants
$3,500.
$3,200 for it.
I was close.
Well, I mean, the used car market is absolutely insane right now.
Yeah, it is,
and
but
it's just the way it is.
but Jesus,
Dude, I paid $9,000 for that hunk of shit out there.
that's not a
I got
hunk of
lucky.
shit. It's a
I
good
got.
car.
That's a hunk of
I
shit.
got
It's a good
lucky.
car.
I got lucky
That
with my
thing's-
Sierra. I got real lucky
That
with
thing's
that
a
fucking
piece of
thing.
shit.
Mechanic special.
Mechanic special, definitely. Built the motor on it, 200 miles on the fucking thing. The guy, I told Tony, I was like, man, I just want a truck. It's one of his friends, and he drives by it every day. They live out near each other, and he said, well, that truck's just sitting there. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's been sitting there for I don't know how long now. So Tony gets in contact with the guy, and he lets me know that the truck's just been sitting there. It's overheating. Don't know what's going on with it. Well, we told the customer it needed a radiator when he left, but he wanted to do it himself to save some money. Understandable. Great. Please don't fuck up this brand new motor we just put in here.
Right.
Well, it turns out he did not do it, is what it seems like, before it came in. But long story short, he ended up overheating it. Head gaskets blew out. I picked it up for stupid cheap, $5,000, and it's got the 6.0 in it, and put the head gaskets on it, and now I got a brand new truck. 4L70 transmission in there.
Yep.
4-wheel drive. It's the Vortec Max. So it's not just the
made
regular
from real tornadoes.
It's not the regular 6.0. It's the 6.0 HO in there.
Yeah.
High output.
So it's,
For those who don't know.
yeah, it's a nice ass truck, man. So and I was gonna do it as like a flip, but then I ended up falling in love with the truck. And it's clean.
nice truck.
It's nice.
Good
It's
truck.
comfortable.
Stay away from the tailpipe.
Why? What do you mean?
Matt Sanchez understood. He said he fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So what?
I'm gonna be on what is that show called?
He can do whatever he wants.
Strange Addictions.
He
can
do whatever. The guy marries
First
his
of all,
car.
First of all, it's 2022. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I mean, well, he's going to turn that into a high input, if you know what I'm saying.
I identify as Optimus Prime, motherfucker.
It's it might be high output under the hood, but it's going to be high input under the bed, if you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Now, man, I was actually just talking about this being a mechanicing life, though, to drop back into it. I was talking with one of the youngins that we have. He works one day a week at the restaurant. And I said, one, you're very lucky to have this place as your first job because the normalcy, despite working for me, the normalcy level is quite high.
Right.
Like, I was like,
Compared to a lot of
yeah,
other
exactly.
joints.
We
It's
were
his
talking,
first job, right?
yeah,
You
it's his
said
first job. First job, yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
For sure.
I started telling him some of the stories of like people that I worked with, things that happened as a mechanic. Even from the very beginning, working at Classic Car Wash for, we won't say his name, who when we had this sort of talking about it with Gaziano about how crazy that job was.
Right.
And if you haven't seen that stream, it is on our
It is pretty funny
That's
too.
right.
You should check it out.
YouTube. Check it out.
And watching like drug use, closeted straight men with children doing sexual acts with other men in the office.
Yeah.
Also while using drugs.
I'm glad I wasn't there for any of that because I don't think I've
you got to think,
experienced
and
any
at
of
that
that.
time I was 17, right? This was my first job. Like, actually, no, that was my second job out of high school. My first job was working at actually as a pool boy at the what was it called?
No,
What was it
Parnell?
called? No, not Parnell. No. I literally just was tasked to take care of the pool area at Jesus Christ. It's now an apartment complex right over there behind.
I know where you're at.
Wintry.
No.
Or,
No. Off of Cliffdale. When you first turn on a Cliffdale off of Skybo, going out towards Hoke County side of Cliffdale. There was that plot that
I
whole.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's an apartment complex now, but it used to be it had all the indoor racquetball courts and the huge pools and everything. Anyways, that was my first job. But whatever. I digress.
Jerry said, "Pool boy."
Exactly.
Welcome to the podcast, Jerry.
Yeah, welcome, Jerry.
Hello.
I want to rub your bald head.
He
in
said
the
more
pool,
like
boy.
weak boy. Dude,
Anyways.
come on, something better than that.
Imagine. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
My name's Jerry. You're all weak.
But and then my time at Sears, and I sort of was going through this with him, and I realized, shit, if I even ever publicly talked about half of the shit that happened to me or that I did or partook of with people in these jobs,
Right.
I'd be canceled so fast.
Man,
It'd be unreal.
But-
I mean,
working in corporate America is what really kills your vibe of.
no, these
even
were at
work.
corporate stores.
Well, that's
though.
what I'm saying. Working in corporate America really wants to kill your vibe of working for anybody.
Oh yeah,
corporate.
for sure.
Now that I'm at a mom and pop shop, I tell you what, my boss is the best person in the fucking world. I would do anything for that guy.
He's a good guy.
and
Hey,
he buys breakfast every once in a while for us, lunch. He makes sure I'm taking care of. He's like, hey, if you need some money, man, just let me know. He takes care of me. And
That's good. That's
dealing
the way
with
it should be.
dealing with the corporate, I was working for Jiffy Lube for a while, and dealing with those guys, unreal. I got fired from there last year. I was working automotive performance and Jiffy Lube at the same time.
Yeah.
But I was about to clock out to go to my second job, automotive performance. And on the way to clock out, I went to take my shirt off. And on the way to the computer to clock out, and the district manager was there. And because I was not wearing my shirt during the clock out period, he was like, dude, that guy's got to go. So when I came in that Monday, he was like, my boss, he was like, dude, I got to let you go. I'm sorry. So
and it's one of those things where they're looking for a reason to get rid of you.
Right,
Anything
because he was only working there
I was only working part-time
and they
a few
wanted him
hours.
there full time.
Yeah.
But, I would complain about the job all the time, even to the manager. But
if you don't complain, you're not a mechanic.
So so when I went to the next shop and I told my boss what was going on, I told Tony what was going on, he was like, how about a $5 raise?
Yeah.
Fuck, what? It's like, really? He was like, yeah, give it a few months, man. Let's get it a little more busier, get some more cars in. How about a $5 raise? All right, cool. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I love my boss.
Yeah.
Love my
Can't beat
boss,
that.
man. He'll do anything for us. We'll do
He's
anything
a
for
super
him,
fucking
man.
cool dude.
I've been
Yeah,
farming.
man.
I've been farming work to him since 2007.
Yeah, Firestone sends all
Thank
their
you for that.
fucking
No, I
major
send-
mechanic work over.
It's not just Firestone. It is not just
Yeah.
Firestone. We
The
get
dealerships
We get
and-
dealerships now.
yeah.
We do their heads. We built the
anytime
motor
we were
for-
doing
we built
motor
the
work
for Honda not too long ago.
anytime we do any internal work where things needed to be surfaced,
Yeah.
we did stuff to him. So we send him flywheels if we did clutch jobs. We send heads if we did head gaskets. If the thing needed a motor completely, we just sent him there.
Yep.
But that's just because they didn't want to touch, corporate didn't want to touch anything
Well,
like that.
we still get stuff from Firestone. We get stuff from Black's Tire, Ed's Tire. Any small shop, we usually get stuff from.
quick service.
We got one called Joe. Say what?
Jerry said, I don't even know how to replace my tires. God, I'm pathetic.
That's actually true. That is pathetic.
But a lot of people don't know how to do that. Actually,
Jesus Christ.
that's
Well, I
why
mean-
they call AAA or
Hey,
Brownies Toast Service. or
honestly,
whoever the fuck
honestly, it is actually one of the more difficult things to do at the house is to change your tires off of, put new tires on your rims. It is actually kind of difficult to do.
I mean, if you're going to put a
It is.
new
But I
brand new-
have done
like
it, and I got these little bars, and
Sure.
man, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Sure, you could fucking do it with a crowbar. You could
I
do
think
it
he's
with
talking
whatever
about
kind of
actually
pry
putting
bar.
a spare on.
I think he's talking about just
actually-
taking
Okay,
lug
if you're
nuts and
talking
wheel
about
off.
if you're talking about
Taking a wheel
changing,
off.
if
If
you're
you got a
talking
flat
about,
on the side of
he
the
said
road, he does not
replace
have-
my tires, so that's what I assumed. If you're talking about change a flat tire, we need to fucking talk, Jerry.
Amen.
We need to talk. That's a problem.
That being said, when Tom did have a flat tire not that long ago,
he messaged me. He did message me, and
so what's going on with the restaurant?
he messaged me about that tire, and he was like, "Damn it, I got to get a new set." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
First of all, I just want to go ahead and throw this out there.
So why don't you put a spare on it and drive it up?
I had a really shitty scissor jack that I did not trust to lift my truck. I didn't even trust it to lift me.
Was it the ones that come with the vehicle?
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't trust those fucking things either.
Yeah,
No,
so I didn't
absolutely not.
have a jack that I could actually use.
Yeah.
That's what I actually called Fowler for was, can you bring a jack over?
Yeah.
I didn't ask him to come and change it for me, but he literally came over, hopped out of his car, pulled his jack out, went, all right, let's go. And I was just like,
So what you're saying
okay.
is you need to stop being a pussy. Use that scissor jack.
well, I mean,
Use that scissor jack, baby.
what happens? You can't look.
hail
hey,
to the
hey,
no. I ain't
Look,
using that.
and Matt-
It's this. If you put the same goddamn jack in a fucking 2017 Ram Rebel, right, a full size truck that you put into a 2016 CRV, fuck you. No, I am not.
Also,
I
yeah.
felt sketched out changing Taylor's tire on the side of the road with that scissor jack. It's the same fucking jack, dude. It's the exact same jack.
as to him,
fuck that.
As to him asking to borrow the jack, that is true. He did not ask me to come over and do anything. But here's the thing: if I'm gonna come and hang out with my friend, right? I want to hang out with my friend. And what's going to be faster to us hanging out and just chilling is
Than
like
him
me going,
fucking his
me
truck
going,
up.
me going.
Right.
Here's the jack. Have fun. And then an hour later we can hang out, or I can just put
Do
the
it
jack
in
under
2
there.
minutes.
Oh,
It-
I got no problem with that, but he messaged me. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm at work. I don't get off till 5.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, just put the scissor jack on it. Come bring your truck up here. We'll throw a set of tires on there, whatever. That wasn't going to happen, apparently. So.
And that was via text
'Cause
message.
you still could have
He
hung out
couldn't
while I
hear-
was doing tires.
He couldn't hear in the background where I was going, hail to the no, to the
Yeah.
no. Hail to the no. Yeah, no.
Well, you
Good.
still could have came to the shop, hung out, just changed the spare on there with a little scissor jack. Well, you did it on the CRV. You couldn't do it on your truck. What the fuck?
X Karma X says beaches.
Yeah, I like beaches too.
Beaches be tripping.
Beaches do be tripping. Beaches are a nice place to take a trip too.
Speaking of which,
Quick.
now that I have this truck, what?
I was gonna say quick hot take.
Shoot.
North Carolina beaches criminally underrated.
Very.
Yeah.
Criminally underrated.
I was
For sure.
looking into going to what is called Corova, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, tell me about that.
They are built on the fucking
Hell
dunes,
yeah.
the houses out
Hell
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is all off-road season,
Hell yeah.
100% of the time of the year.
Let's go.
You go to the beach, you get to drive on the beach. There's wild
yeah.
horses out there.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Why are we not going right now?
I would
Close
love
the
to
pot. Hit. There's a button
No,
over there.
no,
There's
no,
a button.
we
you
already
hit
did that.
it.
No.
No, you
You
get
hit
your
that
hand
button
away from that.
in the
Get your
podcast.
hand away
We're
from
going
that.
to the beach.
Get away.
Don't you touch it, Trish. Don't touch it.
No.
Look, this is actually the best time of the year to be at the beach.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I just
100%.
got
There's
back.
no
from Myrtle
one
Beach.
there.
I
There's
just
no
got
one
back
there.
from
It's
Myrtle
amazing.
Beach. My
It's
daughter had
you
a
yourself
dance.
and the biting cold wind, but it's still amazing.
It is. It is.
We're a
It
windbreaker.
is.
Yeah.
We went down to Myrtle Beach for my my daughter's dance competition.
Your dance's daughter competition.
Yes, you're damn right.
You dance your daughter for a competition?
I'm
That's
not.
weird.
That's nasty. That
That's
sounds like
weird.
I'm tricking her out. That's terrible.
That was really
You're
weird.
right. That's fucked up, dude. That's what she's making it sound like. That's
First of all, I did not get that
I
at
got
all.
tongue
No.
twisted. That's what it sounded like to me. But
You
whatever.
got tongue twisted at your daughter's dancing.
Jesus. Anyways,
X Karma X says, my name's Jerry Chambers. I can lift weights but can't change flat tires.
Yeah, I don't. I
whoever
don't-
that is,
I love this.
I already
I love
know
this
who it
person.
is.
That's
I already know
awesome.
who it
Who
is.
is it?
He's going to be on Saturday.
awesome. Saturday.
Yeah.
We're doing something.
We're doing a Saturday
Yeah,
podcast.
Saturday.
What the fuck, man?
He'll be on Saturday. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So it's not Sunday.
The 12th. Yeah, Saturday the 12th.
What the fuck, man?
What, dude?
Yeah.
I thought
What?
we
That's
were on
next week.
Sundays.
Yeah.
I thought we were Sundays though.
Yeah.
We had to do a special because I have two people that would not be available on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay.
Shit on that.
They were available. They were available on Saturday though.
But anyways, Corova, North Carolina. You drive on the beach for miles. There's wild horses out there, and no, we were talking about. Oh yeah, no, going down to the beach during this time
Yeah,
of the year.
tongue tied at the dance competition.
Dance daughter daddy
So,
dance competition.
So, anyways, normally a hotel, if you go down during season, is like anywhere from $200 to $300 a night. We went down
Especially
there,
on the weekends. Yeah.
yeah, and we went down
Right.
there. It was $65 per night,
Mhm.
And we got to go to the beach. The hotel we were in, it had the outdoor pool, but it also had indoor pools,
Heated.
lazy river,
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
jacuzzi. It had a fucking bowling alley inside of it.
Oh,
Jesus.
It was awesome. A
Could
bowling
you-
alley,
could you-
arcade.
Could you use a bowling alley? Did they have a lane from the lazy river so you could just, as you're going by in the raft, just
No,
bowl the
unfortunately not. I would have been down for that. But
if
it's
someone
just not.
hasn't
But now
thought of that
I
yet,
have a business idea.
Yeah, hey, I'm trademarking that idea, copywriting it, everything, the plans. It's mine. Don't you do it. Lazy River Bowling Alley.
But it was
First.
cheap. It
Hey,
was,
we
everything
are
was
at
cheap.
7 viewers. Thanks for tuning in,
Oh,
guys.
shit. Hello.
Appreciate you. Hey, Brad, what's going on?
I don't know,
Brad,
but
hello.
Brad.
Yeah, you know Brad.
You know Brad.
He used to-
I-
he
you
lived in
just
my-
said Brad.
He lived at my
haven't
he
seen
lived
it.
at my
Hey,
house
I've-
for like
I've-
he
Oh,
painted
yeah,
that.
I put
He
my
actually painted that
I
back
put my
there.
nuts on his drum set.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like Step
Brad,
Brothers.
Don't put your nutsack on my drumstick.
Brad. He actually painted
I
that
remember now.
that picture
Yeah.
back there.
Brad,
Yeah,
Brad, Jerry, and I share something in common.
It's nutsacks.
yeah
No,
they all had sex in the same room.
It's same room.
Well, no,
Like
hold on.
human
I take that back.
style, or is
I
it
take
like-
that back.
No.
They all lived in the same room.
Yes.
You and Jerry have that. You had sex in that room in common. Sorry, Brad.
Don't do
I
Brad
love you,
like
bro.
that. Don't do that. No, but Brad and I.
Brad had a long distance
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Obviously,
He was a good boy.
yeah.
Is he still dating her?
I don't know. Maybe we talk.
Brad, I need to reach out.
Maybe
If you're
talk
still
about
listening,
that some other time
yeah.
with him in private.
Yeah, Brad. If
Not
you're-
on a podcast.
Yeah, if you're out there, bud, I'm gonna message you on Facebook later because it's been a while. It'd be great to catch up. I hope he's still down in Florida.
Yeah, he is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lit. All right. So back to the
What I had
dad's
to say was
daughter
over.
tongue tied.
Yeah. Let's
What I
get
had,
it.
what I had to say
Okay.
was over. That's done with.
No, but
Fuck you
seriously though,
guys.
North Carolina Beach is criminally underrated.
Yes.
South Carolina
Yeah.
Beach is extremely overrated.
Overrated,
Extremely.
Extremely.
Very.
Especially for bike.
I'm gonna be
man.
honest
Dude,
with
If
you,
I wanted
dude,
to go somewhere
Myrtle
to get
Beach-
shot and
Myrtle-
have really shitty food, I'd
I would
just go
stay
to
in
Fayetteville.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, Myrtle Beach is like New Jersey of the South. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like where the trash congregates.
Yes.
It's
absolutely.
I
and
do
that's
not-
a hot take.
I don't
but
like
I'm
giving
saying
Myrtle
it.
Beach my money at all, but like for my daughter's dance competition.
North Myrtle
got
Beach
I was
is
not-
like,
North Myrtle Beach isn't that bad actually.
It's
I haven't been in a long time. I don't know.
Now, if you go past it to Surfside, that's all right. But Myrtle Beach as a whole
Yeah.
is a hole,
Yeah.
a brown one
100%.
with some wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and, sprinkle a little bit of
It's
hemorrhoids
a-
on the
like-
side.
yeah.
It's a brown balloon knot.
like, dude.
Let's be
Oh
honest.
man, I do have some good stories from there as a child though. 16-year-old. I'm still, obviously I'm still a child, so I guess I was,
Jerry said, "Poor Mac. He never had any peace."
he deserved it.
Mac would be tuning into our podcast, but unfortunately, he runs about 7 of his own podcasts, so
Yes.
he's probably doing a podcast
Yes,
right
I know.
now.
Dude, I need
so
to do
he
a
would be able
podcast
to
with
be on
Mac
the
where we
podcast.
can talk leftist theory. It'd be fun.
That would be fun.
I would do it.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. Whose podcast would you go on?
Mac's podcast.
Oh, okay.
We
yeah.
could do it here.
No.
Okay. I think it'd be hilarious.
No, I don't like getting into politics on this podcast. We can, but
No.
I don't really like.
What? What's the
Question for Matt Sanchez: do you like Wendy's?
Ugh. Ugh.
Don't you do that?
Ugh.
Don't you do that?
No,
Really?
Sorry.
You don't like Wendy's?
What?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Can't do it.
Dude, but they have that
Can't.
one burger with the
Who's
pretzel bun
asking
that's
that,
pretty
by the way?
good.
What the fuck?
X Karma X.
No Wendy's. Sorry.
No. Okay.
You've now lost Sanchez as your supporter. You had him when you were picking on Jerry, and now you lost him with Wendy's.
Well, I had Wendy's for
From
lunch.
one bald head to a redhead.
I literally
you
had
fucked up.
I had Wendy's for lunch today.
Yeah, I
so,
do
yeah.
like Wendy's
It was good.
above McDonald's.
It was
Yeah,
delicious.
but that's like,
if that helps.
dude. But that's not. Do you know how long it's been since I've ate McDonald's? Dude, eating McDonald's.
The only time I go
is-
there is for convenience with my children. Like when I pick them up on Friday, I let each one of them pick where they want to eat each weekend. And
chicken nuggets
my,
at McDonald's.
My
Oh, yeah,
oldest
chicken
boy
nuggets, bro.
says McDonald's.
Yeah,
I'm like,
chicky.
"Damn,
He wants
I
chicken
guess-
nuggets.
Does he get the chicken
no,
nuggets?
No, he wants
No.
a cheeseburger.
Oh, cheeseburger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just-
So
you will definitely get some cheeseburgers at McDonald's.
I will eat there. I will eat there as
With your chicken
convenience-
nuggies.
I will eat there as convenience for my children. But me personally, if it's just me and my girl, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Man.
and I can't tell you how many times I go there just for the kids' meals, and everything is fucked up. I've not been
Dude.
to McDonald's not once to where they got to order right.
They drop the people's elbow on the bag right before they give it to you. It's a true fact. It's actually
And
part.
everything-
It's
every-
part of McDonald's
Like, you
USA's
order a
training
cheeseburger
video.
and they never put the cheese on. Like,
yeah, they're like
how the
they,
fuck?
but they did put some spit on it for you,
They did something.
and then rub a ball sack
They
on
did
it.
something, but I turned that bitch right back in, and I'm sitting
Yeah.
there having to wait.
And
Oh,
then they
we gotta
put
wait-
extra
We got to
spit.
reheat up the fries for it. No, dude, just give me the cheeseburger so I get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Away
Yeah.
from this golden arch. Like, complete. I cannot fucking stand McDonald's. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
That's
the
like
last
one of those.
time
I
that ate
have to have a
McDonald's.
hankering for
But
something.
like
from
Wendy's,
McDonald's to get
I will.
McDonald's.
I will say this though: the Wendy's chili and
First of all,
baked potato, I will eat.
first
that.
off,
I'll mix it together.
Put some respect
Oh, yeah.
on the Frosty.
And
Dude,
Put some respect on the Frosty.
Fries,
All right.
fries, and Frosty.
Fries and Frosty's hardcore. Dude, chocolate Frosty, dipping the
yeah.
fries in it.
Yeah,
That is.
I can get down on
which
that.
I'm going to be honest, I've never done.
What?
I've never dipped the fries in the
wrong
Frosty.
with you? That's the whole best part.
I've
I
I've
That's
know.
the
never
best
done it.
part. It's
I know Fowler likes dragons.
dragging my balls,
I don't know.
nuts on your face. Is that where you're going?
I
with
feel
this?
like this is like some kind of setup.
Who put you
Yeah.
up to this?
Yeah, yeah. Something about dragging
Where's this
nuts on
going?
someone's face. Is this the X Karma XX?
Yes.
Triple X.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to tell me later. Who
I'm
this is.
pretty sure. I'm
The-
pretty
and-
sure. I'm pretty sure it's Chuck.
And I'm
But I'm
pretty
not 100% sure.
I know-
Nice.
I think it is.
And I'm pretty
Well, I'm not
sure
sure.
that's why he's coming on Saturday because he's not all there.
Well,
All
no,
the,
he's got-
all the people that are like there mentally are on Sundays. The fucked up people are on Saturdays.
So for an announcement for next weekend, we'll also have Travis Cash on. So
Ooh, it could be Crash.
So
I wanna be here for
we'll
that.
have Travis and Chuck on. It'll,
man, how are you
it'll
gonna have-
actually be a really good.
How are you gonna have Travis on without me here? It's fucked
I
up.
mean,
What the fuck, man?
do you want to be
That's
here
fucked up.
I would like to
on
be
Saturday?
That's fucked up. No.
What time is it
Then-
on Saturday?
I haven't really worked that out.
Can you
yet.
imagine
Probably
a
7 or
a
something like
podcast
that.
with
I
the
might
three
be
of
able
us,
to do that.
myself,
Maybe. I can.
you,
I think I can.
Travis
no, I'm
Cash,
going to be gone.
where
Another
we
dance competition.
and with the tongue twisting,
Twisting tongue.
twisting tongue at the dance competition. So, anyways, can you imagine though a podcast episode with myself, you, and Travis Cash, and we just reminisce about old times where we lived together? We'd be immediately banned from YouTube, but I mean, it would be
Right.
great. I'd
So-
give it a 10 out of 10.
So Sanchez,
This-
do you like Wendy's nuts drag across your face?
Yeah, see, there we
Do you
go.
like
Yeah.
dragons?
Yeah, that wasn't. That
Yeah,
wasn't.
we
I'm
know
guessing
it's-
that was the setup. He hasn't actually said anything after that, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing that was the setup.
That's 100% the
How do
setup.
we unsubscribe people?
Jerry,
Is that
Jerry wants
possible?
Jerry wants Jerry wants to talk about when I called the president of Metro Diner and told them to get the fucking Monte Cristo back, and then they did.
Really.
Yeah,
Yes, that actually happened.
that did happen.
That sandwich was amazing.
Yo,
I, didn't
I don't
know
think
they
it was
got
the
rid of
president of Metro Diner. It was a manager somewhere, but
Hey,
maybe
can we
will
all
talk about
take
that.
a moment to remember the OG Monte Cristo of Fable Bennigan's?
Yes,
And how
their potato soup.
Yeah, and how that used to be, dude.
Yes.
That was the
the
only
shit.
good part about that entire restaurant, which was a absolute dumpster fire.
Oh, yeah.
And for certain got closed, not because of the lack of business, although it did have no business. It got closed by the health department for how disgusting that
100%.
place was.
100%.
But man, when you
They
were
had some good ass food.
I didn't know
Hack-
that's why
no-
they closed.
dude, when you were haggard having that Monte Cristo. Ooh,
All right,
dude.
so I'll go ahead and tell the story. So
Is that on
Jerry and I-
Messenger?
yeah,
Did he just message you that?
no, no,
The
no.
Monte
This is
Cristo and then
this
message
is
you?
Metro Diner.
Oh shit!
No, I just pulled this up from
Okay.
February of 2018.
Jesus.
So it was
Wow.
a few years ago, no big
Nice.
deal. So
Stop
so
living
basically,
in the past.
Jerry and I would go to Metro Diner, and we'd only ever get two things: the meatloaf and the Monte Cristo. Right? If it was dinner time, meatloaf. Right? Lunchtime, Monte Cristo. Fucking delicious. Right? So that's what I would always get. It was amazing.
For any of you who are listening who don't know what a Monte Cristo is, it's a very simple meat and cheese sandwich that is then
so
deep
good.
fried,
Yes.
covered in powdered sugar, and you dip it through a fruit preserve.
Raspberry, specifically raspberry. It's
Raspberry.
so good. It's got turkey, ham. It's fucking amazing. So anyway, Jerry and I went out to Metro Diner before he left.
On a date.
Before he left for California. It was our last kind of like have lunch before he hops on an airplane and moves away. Right. So it was kind of a special moment for
He
us.
never
right?
asked me to go to lunch.
It was like a special moment for us. Right.
I think at one point he decided that I didn't like him, but I like you, Jerry. I don't know what the fuck. just so it's known,
All right.
Jerry, I don't like
Great-
you.
great.
Just so it's known. I love you.
I think he felt.
So-
I think he felt some type of way about something that happened,
So-
but it's not that I don't like him.
So we're
I love
sitting.
him.
Hey, let's bring this up in the middle of me telling a story.
Fuck your story.
So
We'll be here 2 more hours, motherfucker. We got time.
God damn it. So we go there. They take the Monte Cristo off the menu,
Mm.
and I'm just like, wait, why? What? then what the fuck do they have that other places don't have? This is bullshit, right? And I brought it up to the waitress, and I'm like, why? What happened to the Monte Cristo? And they're like, yeah, we're just as upset. Believe me.
Jeez.
You know, they were upset too, and they were like, yeah, it's something corporate did because I guess it's not very popular at other locations. Same reason they took the deviled eggs and the Brunswick stew and all the really good shit from Mac's Speed Shop because it doesn't do well in other locations, so they're going to take it off the menu everywhere, right? Fucking stupid. So,
it's called economy of scale.
So I decided I was going to take things into my own hands and send a message to Metro Diner's Facebook. And here's a message from Tom Ramsey to Metro Diner. Andy writes, I said, why? Why on earth would you remove the Monte Cristo from the menu? This is the one reason I come to Metro Diner. What sort of terrible idea fairy flew in the window and sprinkled disappointment dust on the people who make these decisions? Metro Diner was once a place of retreat, a sanctuary for the food lovers of Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's now a desolate wasteland of sadness and betrayal, which offers only items other restaurants in the area have available. Metro Diner has died with its Monte Cristo, and I will mourn its loss from home because I will not set foot in Metro ever again until the Monte Cristo is brought back. Today is a sad day for the hungry.
That last two sentences sound like a Karen.
So
that was really Karen.
I wanted to convey my passion about this subject and try to be like, funny about it or whatever. And they responded and they said, "Hi, Tom. First of all, we hear your concerns about us removing the Monte Cristo, and thank you for taking time to provide us with the honest thoughts and feedback about the decision to remove this item from our menu. I will make sure to pass this message along. In the meantime, do you mind providing me with your email or phone number? I'd like to have one of our area leaders reach out to you." And so I provided them with my phone number and my email address, and they actually did call me, and they asked me for my legitimate feedback, and they were like, first of all, that message, like, I could tell that you were actually upset that it's gone, but hilarious. We loved it. We had
That's
we were
awesome.
dying laughing when we read this. He's like, this spread around. We started emailing it to people like, look at this guy's message to
That's
our
awesome.
Facebook page. And it got us talking, and we're going to bring the Monte Cristo back. And then in April of 2019, after I deployed and did some other crap or whatever, but in April of 2019, I took a picture at Metro Diner with the Monte Cristo. They had brought it back. And I said, faith in humanity restored.
That's awesome.
And they sent me a message, said, yes, sir, it's back on the menu full time. And I said, and it's in my tummy part time right now. But in my heart forever.
That's awesome.
We are in no way
So
sponsored. by Metro Diner.
hilarious and funny story, right? Well, unfortunately, November 22nd of 2021, me and some friends went into Metro Diner and I ordered the Monte Cristo, and they said, I'm sorry, we removed it from the menu. So I messaged them on Facebook again, and I said, I find myself once again asking for your Monte Cristo with a GIF of Bernie Sanders.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And they said, thank you for reaching out at Metro Diner. We're unable to respond to your message at this time, but we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And
They never
haven't.
have.
So
if Metro Diner, if you ever see this or listen to this or hear this or whatever.
Fuck you, first of all.
fuck you.
But can you please bring it back? Even,
Yeah,
So,
I-
yeah,
back.
that's where we're at.
Disturbing.
But that was cool that the first time they were able to.
Well, it's probably back
Do
when
that.
like Wendy's was just really ramping up their social media campaign
yeah,
of
that
being
was
edgy
hilarious.
and everything.
Yeah.
And so like every company started doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Having a lot more money spent on social media and having people there and say funny things,
Being
edgy
savage.
things.
And,
Yeah.
So X Karma X says, so S2000 versus unsellable GTO.
Actually, it is sold, so you
Who?
can go
Wait,
fuck
is
yourself.
this fucking? Who is this? It can't be Chuck.
No, but no, because Chuck would know that I don't have the S2000 anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't had the S2000 for like 3 years. Brother.
Honestly, I don't even know who the fuck Karma is now.
No, it's fine. Sorry, man. No S2000.
That just threw me
and
for a
the
loop.
GTO
It
was
is sold.
sellable. It's gone.
So yeah.
I made
GTO
some money
sold.
off it, so fuck you.
So now we're gonna spend the rest of the podcast trying to figure out who X Karma X is.
Knows who
Show
Jerry,
yourself!
Knows who Jerry is, but
Yeah.
hasn't spoken to some of us in a couple of years. But also, but you, that's been a couple months.
Right?
Yeah.
What
Weird.
the fuck?
Interesting.
Show yourself.
That being said, I would love to have another S.
Yeah,
I've actually
I'd
was
love to
looking
have
at.
it. I'd still love to
I
have
was-
an
I
S2000.
I wouldn't
I
mind
was
having one
looking.
if I can fit in one.
Yeah, it is a thin man's car.
No, I mean-
it is a thin man's car.
But I drove your S2000. I didn't have any
The Del
problem
Sol
with it.
was
and
bigger
I was
than
about as
S2000.
big. I drove a Del Sol and didn't have any problems.
I had
I'm bigger than you
the
are.
Del Sol I had, it felt to me like I could fit in that better than the S2000. No
Yeah,
doubt
the
about it.
seat. The seat
Really?
makes a little bit
Yeah,
of a
dude, the
difference.
seat
yeah.
Because
It's
I
a
drove your
huge
S2000 with no
Yeah.
problem. No problem
You're
at all.
smaller than me, motherfucker.
The Bear is a
No.
big boy.
There's no fucking
I'm
way.
a big
He's
dude,
a
man.
large.
Dude, I'm
he's a
like
thick,
270
He's a
pounds.
thick lad.
I might be a little bit bigger, buddy.
No bullshit.
thick
I
lad.
call bullshit.
Well, we can weigh each other's.
Hey,
Later.
Austin, welcome to the podcast, buddy.
Austin,
Hey,
we
brother,
were been waiting
we've been-
on you.
actually-
we haven't
We
even started
went-
the podcast.
We actually went through 2 podcasts waiting on you.
We're on our third podcast
What the
now.
fuck, man? The only reason we get on here is so you can fucking listen.
That's right.
So,
We're here for you.
So when we come on, you fucking clock out. You hear me?
Or clock in.
Don't clock in. You clock the fuck out and be like, boss man, I got shit to do.
Dude,
What's going on, Austin? Thanks for joining us,
Hello.
man.
yeah.
As always, our biggest fan. Jared said that Austin's not the podcast's biggest fan, that Jared is the biggest fan. And I said,
If he was, he'd be here right now.
and I was like, no, hold on a second, because Austin has seen every episode.
Yes.
And Jared's like, well, so have I. And I was like, well, did you watch the Jerry and Shane broadcast live? No. And I was like, oh, Austin did. And guess what?
shit.
There's no VOD of that. That
Nice.
shit got deleted.
Yeah, I can imagine.
that was a spicy
If we ever-
podcast.
If we ever come out
Spicy
with,
unit.
if we ever come out with a T-shirt, Austin, you definitely get first dibs at a $20 shirt. No,
Oh,
25.
for sure.
25.
No, Austin gets all the merch for free.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
followed
we can do that.
every single fucking podcast, every Twitch stream, all the shit that I've done. He's followed and been a fucking fan of.
Thank
so.
you, man. Thank
Seriously,
you,
cheers,
Appreciate
cheers to
that.
you.
I don't
Austin.
have anything, but I
You need
drank
to
it
bring.
have a Red Bull.
You need to bring your ass on the podcast. Is what needs to
Yeah.
happen. That's what.
After
Not
you-
your ass, your whole body.
the whole
but
body.
everything. The
After
entire-
you clock out.
the entire Austin. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be
Understandable.
weird. A detachable ass. And
Yeah.
just- Yeah. That was weird. How would you sit and watch the podcast if you sent your ass on it? But anyway,
What
we've
the
gone
fuck?
too far.
Yes.
What were you talking about?
No
Da-
idea.
Dance competition.
No, we're over that.
We're done-
with that.
we're done-
We're done
we're
with
done
that.
with-
Will fucked it up. I fucked it up. I fucked it up first, and Will drag that motherfucker out. Like,
Tongue titty twister. What?
No, we did not go
No,
to the titties.
That's too far.
just too far.
They're fucking little girls, man.
Come on.
Fucking.
Oh
First
my
of all,
God! Don't turn
listen.
it into that. It was just a play on
Listen.
words.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Jesus Christ!
What's wrong with you?
Demonetized.
Fucking friend of Epstein over here.
Yeah. Now
No,
listen.
it's okay.
Now
We
listen,
won't-
Sometimes
we won't
Jeffrey
get-
and I, Jeffrey and I like to go.
We won't get canceled
And,
for that because
we-
all of the big mainstream media corporate people are all friends of Epstein
That's
too.
True.
Nah, well, they still canceled. They canceled him permanently.
Oh.
Is that karma again?
Yeah.
No, it's Jerry.
No.
He wants to do a podcast in front of the Bellagio.
I mean, you can do that, Jerry. No one's stopping you from doing anything you
There's
want.
literally no way we'd be able to set up
No.
on the side of
We
the
sh-
road on the strip
No.
in Las Vegas without getting run off by the cops or robbed.
You would have to do a podcast like
No,
live stream from a phone, essentially.
Right.
Like,
It would have to be from a
fucking-
phone.
We need to do a green screen.
we could do that.
Green screen.
If
Fly
I-
your
There's
ass
no
out here.
point.
The real
Why
question
you're
is,
asking
when
So he
is
can do it in
Jerry
front of the
bringing himself
Bellagio.
back here? I mean, he's like a married man now. He has a kid,
brought,
right?
He's not married, but he has
I mean-
brought his ass here
I didn't know he was a man.
enough times since he left. Jesus Christ. Enough times since he left. I'm actually flying out to California.
I know. You guys are going to some
And
concert.
then we're driving.
He's
And then
always
we're
doing some
driving.
cool shit.
We're driving
Doesn't invite
to
nobody.
Vegas
Yeah.
for Metallica.
Yeah, you guys are going to go see one of the lamest metal bands. That's
I don't even care about.
incredibly
I told
overrated.
him. I told him straight up. I was like,
Metallica-
I don't fucking
Jerry,
care about Metallica.
I know you're listening, Jerry. I'm gonna get the mic cupped. Metallica is trash, garbage, and has been for 20 years.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So Karma didn't know either of you guys didn't have those cars anymore. So who the fuck is it?
Show yourself.
But they had to have known that
Who
like,
would've
the
known you
GTO
had a
was like
GTO?
that's
probably-
like from 6 months ago.
It might have been from when we talked about it at your wedding.
Oh.
So whoever was at the wedding would
yeah,
definitely
but
know.
Chuck would have known you didn't have the
What if
fucking
it was? What if it's
S2000
Marty?
anymore.
Yeah.
What if that's
He knew that
Marty?
you fucking moved
No, it's not
out of
Marty.
country and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. No.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Whatever the case may fucking be, the GTO is sold.
Yeah, and the S2000 is I don't know where it is.
S2000 was sold back in 2019.
Long ago.
18.
Long ago.
18, yeah. Oh,
To
man.
a soldier, actually.
No, to a well, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if she still has it.
That would be dope. I hope
I'd
she
want
does.
it back.
I hope she does.
I'd buy it again.
She's definitely seemed like she loved it.
Yeah.
But she would have PCS'd.
I
Yeah,
thought it
I
was
think
like
so.
a love-hate
She
relationship
would've-
with you.
she
and
would've
that as to
PCS'd
that.
by now.
By the time I sold it, I loved that car because I'd worked out every single thing that was wrong with it.
Right. I remember you were changing out the tranny at one point too.
Yeah, I put a whole motor in that bitch.
You did.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, the
I knew about the
bearing
tranny.
might have got out.
I knew about the tranny. I didn't know about the
No,
motor.
so what happened was when I bought it, it had this horrible roar,
Yeah.
like low frequency roar
Grinding.
at high speeds, and the tires on the back were really cupped. So when I was, because you came with me, remember when I test drove it, and I was like, dude, like the top is like really windy, it leaks a lot of air, and so it was really hard to hear everything. And we could hear this. No, it wasn't the throttle bearing; it was the tail shaft. It was the prop bearing.
Oh.
And so I had this roar, and I was like, man, you can't really hear it. It's there though. It's probably the tires. The tires are really chopped. Whatever. So I take it back. I put some RE11s on it, and then I figured the roar would be gone. And sure enough, no. And the roar got louder. So I was like, and so then I was like, let's go. Let's see if it's in the transmission. So I grab a stethoscope, and we're spinning the wheels, and I hear like the box of rocks in the back of the transmission. I was like, well, that sucks. And I had already done all the fluids and everything to include the transmission fluid. That was the first thing I did. When I bought it, I put all new brakes on it all the way around. I put all new fluids in it, all of them. And
put all new weather seals on
Same
the
thing
motherfucker.
any car guy would do when they first.
Yeah, exactly.
get
Just
a vehicle.
all the maintenance things fresh straight away.
Yeah, like on my stuff, I even changed out the light bulbs.
Yeah,
We
that's
even
what I did.
changed out. We even
Well, those are
changed,
HIDs. I didn't need.
we
to
even
do
changed
so.
out the throttle cable on it, or the cruise control cable.
It was a cruise control cable that snapped. But so no, that I did the transmission. That one, I looked at it and I talked to a couple guys that rebuilt them, and they said, dude, once that bearing goes out, it really spreads everywhere, and you kind of have to replace all of the bearings inside the transmission, not just the prop shaft, and you got to get into all this shit. And I was like, I don't want to fuck with that. So I found an importer, and I got one for, it was like $600.
Damn.
Yeah, but you got to think
you're better off getting a whole fucking F20C long block than you are fucking trying to rebuild that fucking transmission.
Think about how much those parts are now.
Yeah, I know. But
think about that. And here's the crazy fucking thing. A $600 transmission, fucking cheap. Pop that sucker in there, no problems. Well, then when I was driving towards Southern Pines, to deposit something, I spun a bearing. I think it was a number 4.
You were dropping off a deposit.
Yeah, I was dropping off something that had been deposited. I spun a rod bearing, and
which coincidentally, apparently, I read later on that actually happens when you drive when there's no oil in the
So what had happened?
in the engine.
Yeah, what had happened was
that's that Firestone mechanic right there.
No, what had happened? What had happened was, now I was out beating on it, and I think it was probably about a quart low on oil, if I had to guess. And
you're starving that fucking.
No, it was in a turn, and so it was too little oil in the pan. In the turn, the oil gets pulled to the side away from it. Starts to pick up for just a second. Yeah. I was in the middle of the turn, second gear, on that bitch sideways. You know what I mean? I had it the fucking pedal matted and whipped the back end out and was going through the turn like that, and it just starved it. And in the middle of the turn, just like, I was like, oh, let out of it, and I was like, okay, doesn't sound weird. Put it back into gear. Okay, let off the clutch, and it's like, I was like, oh no.
That's the same thing with the GTOs because it's got the front sump pickup, and they're saying you got to get a special baffle for it because when the GTO actually takes off the line, it pulls all the oil to the back of the pan.
Yeah, and starves the pickup.
It starves the pickup.
Yeah, so that's what happened. It was about a quart oil low probably, and because that was a higher mileage. It was a higher mileage motor, and it was burning some oil.
It was probably time for it anyway. Then
and so then I and this is where even crazier. I couldn't find a short block anywhere, like at all, and I couldn't find a long block anywhere at all, but I could find a front clip. So I paid $5,000, and it was motor complete, everything on it, all the auxiliaries, everything from the front of the S2000,
it came with
the whole
harness too,
everything, and the transmission for $5,000. And that's like $12,000 or more right now. Those things are insane.
Yeah.
So I popped that in, that was where I thought I was going to light that car on fire. Because everything that went wrong, or that could go wrong, went wrong with that thing. And
Jesus Christ.
It took me about a month and some change to find that motor. And I was still working full time and trying to like juggle that. And my other car was a blue car, which I had torn completely apart. No doors, no hood, no fenders,
I remember
no
seeing a
bumpers,
picture of that fucking thing,
no
I think.
trunk, no glass.
Driving it around Oak County on a milk crate.
I had sanded it down to bare metal in a lot of places, and then put a little bit of etching primer to cover the metal. As I was doing all the body work and getting all the nasty mono stuff out of there, and that's when the motor blew. I had that car torn apart too. It had no motor in it.
Oh shit!
So
you should have called me, man. I'd help you out.
I bought a motor.
Damn.
I bought a motor for the Civic. I dropped that in. That was $800. Matt, let me know if you find a B16 for $800 anywhere right now.
No, absolutely not.
I bought a B16. I dropped that in there, and in the same day, I finished like coating the car so I could reassemble it. So I sanded off some stuff, just sprayed some sealant on it, and then put all the body parts together, and was driving that car with one Recaro in it, nothing else, just driving that thing to work.
You got to do what you got to do,
While
man.
I was waiting for the motor to come in. The motor for the S comes in. They won't deliver it to my house. They deliver it to the shop.
It was because it was a freight.
It was a freight
delivery?
truck. Yeah, they wanted a dock delivery.
Right.
And so they drop it at the shop. And I was like, either way, I'm going to roll a cherry picker over here and pick it out of the back of your truck. Like, you can, it's the same as if you do it at my house.
Right.
Drop it at the shop. Then I got to find a way to get that bitch to the house and then get it in the car. And then, because it was a JDM engine, I had to switch everything. Because pretty much everything, the plug size, the wiring, all of that stuff's different.
Right.
And I didn't look at any of that until I had it in the car.
Oh, fuck.
Because I'm an idiot. Because I'm an idiot, right? I would just
there's
the
so
first
many,
thing you do is look at the
there's so many other things to think about though.
Yeah.
You know.
And so I finally got in there.
What's on the radio?
Yeah.
What are you gonna eat for lunch that day?
Exactly. Yeah. So no, I was just like, it was like, it's like, it's
no, that's true. Yeah,
it's where you've had
that was when Monte Cristo was not available.
Not available.
That's why this all happened.
You know how it is, dude. You have 11 hour day of swinging wrenches, and then you have to come home and swing your own wrenches again at the house.
Dude,
and
there
you're
was
just
one
like,
time I forgot. I was putting in a motor on I think it was a Ram with a 4.7 in there, and it's got that little spacer plate in there between the engine and the tranny. And I was just rushing to get the fucking thing in there, you know, because I would get a nice bonus if I got it in there quick enough and got it running. So I wasn't even thinking about it. It was already a long day. I was at the end of the day. I was like, you know what? Before we leave Friday, I just want to drop this motor in here, and then Monday I can put it back together and then get out of here. I put the fucking motor in without the spacer plate. The motor and the tranny were already mated. So I had to loosen the transmission mount, take the bell housing bolts out, and I had like maybe an inch of clearance.
I'm trying to fit that in there.
I had to slide it, and you couldn't slide it from underneath. Yeah. There was no way because the front
the K member is there.
The K member and all that.
Oh yeah.
So you had to go through the top. So I had to tilt the motor forward and then try.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And you spent almost as much time as would have been to just pull the whole thing back out and do it again, right? But you're like, I can maybe separate it and get it in here really quick. And then you dump like 5 hours trying to do it the quick way.
Yep.
And you could have just done it the longer way that you would have been less. I see, and that's some of the mistakes I made with that car.
I already had the. At this point, I already had the motor mounts on. I had the top end back together, and the last thing to do was go underneath, put the starter on, and make sure everything was bolted up. I already had the top end together, so I already had like a few hours invested into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I had to take the intake back off and then try and slide this piece back in. Motherfucker.
Dude, yeah.
And so as far as the harness goes, I understand where you're coming from because obviously I left the plate out that goes right behind it. Like,
dude, I was just so excited just to be back in my car.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was just so ready.
Yeah.
I love the blue car, and when it was finished, 90% of the way when I left and I sold that to Mike, I love that car, and I honestly have had more fun with B cars than I've had with Civic than with S's. But the S will always be like one of the most fun cars I've ever.
Those are some slick looking cars too, man. It's like luxury mixed with speed, mixed with like.
It's I'm gonna be honest. This is the hairdresser car, whatever. It's what Miatas wanted to be. The difference is Miatas they used to be affordable. What's up?
Real quick, I got to interject. Jerry actually asked, God, when is Will going to move back to New Zealand or whatever so I don't have to see or hear him any longer? New Zealand.
New Zealand.
So many different countries that he could have gotten close. and he picked one in the middle of fucking nowhere that literally is not even in any way connected to where Will was. But
it is when
He
you
tried.
think about it.
He
No,
tried.
when you think about it, here's the thing.
He tried.
So
He
you
tried.
have where I was, which was in Western Europe and Austria, and that sounds somewhat familiar to Australia, and New Zealand is near Australia, and the half of a brain cell that Jerry has left was just sort of stuck on that.
I like the connect the dots thing because that actually will make sense for him because he's used to connecting the dots.
Painting by numbers and things.
painting
You
by
still
numbers,
can't color inside the lines, though.
I still don't understand how he was a paratrooper. He should have been a Marine.
That's true.
God. Jerry Smash.
he got lost at the recruiting
I should be
office.
careful. I should be careful. He has enough money to fly here and rip the door handle off my front door. See, he rips handles off of things.
Yeah,
But
that's what he
anyway,
does,
go
yeah.
ahead. Hairdresser car.
And I'm saying it's the S2000 is everything the Miata wanted to be. Yeah. If the Miata was just a slight bit bigger with a little bit more power, it would be, I think, amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that's what the S2000 was, and I feel like the S2000 is like the perfect Miata.
Yeah.
Miatas
are still good road
Miatas
course
are
cars.
incredibly fun for the it used to be for the price. You couldn't ever beat them. Ever beat them. Now, of course, everything has gone up, but especially Miatas because people know that like the secret's out.
Yep.
It's perfectly balanced.
Same as RX-7
blah blah. You know.
Yeah.
Well, RX-7 is just on a whole nother level, but like people have now figured out like the cheap sports car route, like that the Miata can be. But I think like the S2000 is like that extra money you spend modding the Miata, you could have just bought an S2000 and had it from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
Know? And you're in a little bit more modern platform. You've got a really
way more parts.
The Miata's got way more parts.
No, so as far as for good performance shit
The
for
Miata's
like
got
road
a ton.
course,
The Miata's got a ton of stuff. Yeah, dude, it's huge aftermarket support. But the one thing they don't have is a over 100 horsepower per liter engine designed off of old F1 tech.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what made the S2000 fun.
Yeah.
I mean, a little gutless, lack of torque, but
I like when I did sit in one, when I was able to fit in one. I like that all the controls were right by the steering wheel,
It's
so the
perfect.
driver's hand
you never have to move.
leave the steering
You
wheel.
never
Everything
move.
is right here where you got the buttons. That was
and at a time when none of that
perfect race car. Like
you got to
if you
remember
wanted to, you know?
that's in 2000. Like you
it was
had
pretty
to
ahead
you
of
had to
its time.
spend a lot more money to get a car that had that.
Yeah.
At the time
You had to buy an
have that.
Acura.
No, but even Acura didn't have all the steering wheel controls the same as the S2000. And even then, it's not just about the steering wheel controls. The rest of the controls were directly behind the steering wheel
that
and the
way
stalks.
you're still able to.
So you're still close where you could come off the stalk and to the radio, do the fence, like your HVAC. Everything was all within like a 1.5 area.
It was built
right like
for
this.
the driver.
Yeah. Even the passenger seat is an afterthought because they have the transmission hump is more on the passenger side to have more room for the driver's leg.
Trust me, I remember riding and literally my knee was always sitting on the shifter where he'd always be like, and I'd be like, oh, sorry. 10 minutes down the road. 10
Going
minutes
into
down the road.
fifth and sixth.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
I mean, it is what it
I
is.
should stop with the sharp B's in the microphone. Sorry.
Yeah, somebody's ears blown out. All our headphone listeners. Jerry Chamber doesn't know what those are. Those are speakers that go in your ears.
They go over your ears.
Or in.
The ones that go in your ears
Or
are
pods.
your AirPods.
Yeah,
Those are your
yeah.
AirPods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
With his iPhone.
That's true. He is an iPhone.
Sanctimonious iPhone users.
I don't know. I will say the good gun on Apple costing Facebook however much money with their privacy. You didn't see about that?
No.
Yeah, they did a release of all of the it's everybody's financial earnings reports going on right now.
Right.
But apparently privacy changes that Apple made to their products is going to end up costing Facebook billions of dollars because they can't because they can't harvest data the way they were before.
Okay.
So essentially iPhone users, there's not that they're immune to data harvesting or to anything else. It's just that Facebook won't be able to do it as easily or at all anymore. So it's good that they're doing that because, you know what I mean? Fuck them.
Oh, pizza's here.
Nice. Who doesn't love that?
Pizza. Do you still have the meat sandwich place we went to after we destroyed the court system that one day?
Yes.
Just curious. That place was awesome.
Yes.
Yes. It's not a meat sandwich place.
I mean, it is.
Hey, Hey,
Oh.
real quick question, Trish.
Young Jared.
Would you rather be on the podcast or continue producing the podcast?
She wasn't doing
Alright.
shit to begin with. She canceled us 13 seconds in, motherfucker.
No,
'Cause I was gonna say, Jared, we're doing like car and mechanic talk. Do you want to hop in?
He looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, there we go. So just so you know, what took me about 45 minutes to an hour to teach you, Trish learned in about 4 seconds. So, huh?
You taught him
See,
something?
There you go. Exactly. Oh shit! Where did the tiger sauce go? Did I leave it downstairs?
Yeah, you did. It's on the
Shit.
on the freezer down in the.
Fuck!
in
I
the-
forgot it. Oh well.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get over it.
I'm gonna put some tiger sauce on that pizza.
Go get it.
I'm totally gonna put this tiger sauce on
No.
that pizza.
Come on.
It'd be like.
No, that's the
so
unopened one. The open one's
easy.
downstairs. You can just open this one.
I
Fuck
don't
it.
give a shit.
Okay, fuck it.
I got
Hey,
6
come on,
bottles
man.
of this
Well,
shit,
listen,
man.
you're
I
gonna
don't
say-
care.
Listen,
Whatever.
I heard Charlie Shane talking about tiger's blood. Let me tell you, when you get the young one's blood with the adrenochrome.
Okay,
in
and
it-
there you go. And good night, folks. We've gone full Alex Jones.
Yeah, I was about to
take
say.
a piss and we get canceled. What the fuck?
you make one Bill Clinton joke, and there's like a shirtless, coked up Alex Jones comes through the window. Y'all are doing a podcast?
How come this is allowed on YouTube and I got canceled off YouTube? This is bullshit. You think you're tough? Yeah.
They keep putting chemicals in the hot sauce to make the pizza gay.
Welcome to the podcast, Jared.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Jesus Christ,
You gotta,
Jared.
you gotta talk into the mic because I definitely didn't.
Okay, it's definitely
What the fuck?
Chuck. It is definitely
Thanks for
Chuck.
having
It
me.
is.
Karma has to be Chuck. It absolutely has to because
The
he
name
literally
seems fitting.
because he literally just said, "I am now dropping a Jerry Chambers." His thing is to say people's names instead of taking a shit. So that's totally him. Just hypothetically speaking, could you IT people virtually pull someone in for podcast? Just curious. Yeah, we
could. Do we want to know?
Yes, so I am going to have that capability here pretty soon. I just don't have it set up in OBS yet. So
Look,
we'll get there.
We don't want
I
your
haven't set it up yet.
iPhone 4S mic quality
Jesus.
ruining this high-end production that you see.
We opened
where
your
we
bottle.
have no problems.
mine downstairs.
We've never had to
looks
restart this stream, and so we don't want to add that now.
By the way, it's an iPhone 4 Pro. So
4 Pro, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
cool.
Wait, who-
you brought the cheese for us.
Who ate the pizza
What's
already?
that one? Is that cheese too?
Pepperoni.
Who ate the
Or not
pizza
pepperoni,
already?
sausage.
Oh, he brought leftovers. Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way to have it.
From his daughter's birthday party.
Nice.
He's like, you know what?
Was it a dance
next year,
party? Was there a dance?
next year you can keep the pizza. Next year you can keep the pizza. You've been a bad girl this year. I'm taking the pizza.
Oh, there's sausage. I like.
Yeah, it's half sausage, half cheese here.
Yeah.
It looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get down on some of this tiger
Dude,
sauce here.
let's just put it out there though. Little Caesars criminally underrated.
Yeah,
Very
For the price,
very
for the
underrated.
price, dude,
Oh, yeah.
for the price,
you can't beat it for the price.
I have ate at some places, in different areas that have like homemade pizza and things like that and whatever that are worse than Little Caesars at 3 times the price.
Oh, 100%.
When it's fresh, it really is good.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's not like it's. I mean, no one's going to Little Caesars going it's the best pizza they've ever had,
Yeah.
and no one's even going there saying it's the best delivery pizza ever.
God damn, that's good. With
But
this
for
tiger
the
sauce.
price,
Well, like today
when
we
you're
had to
talking
get
like value,
we had to get 11 boxes.
yeah.
Anywhere else, I mean, I would have had
It would have
to.
been like 100.
I would have had to
100,
sell my house
100,
just to
140,
pay for it.
150 bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I think was like less than $70.
Yeah.
Or it might have been right there at 70.
Yeah.
So it was either that or everybody starved.
$5.99, $6.99
Yeah.
for a large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't fucking beat that.
You
man.
know the quality's not great, but it is going to taste good for what it is.
Yeah.
We're getting to the bearded part now as the sauce runs down his
Well,
chin.
even too, like their prices really haven't gone up either from like the $5.99. So
No.
that's pretty good.
So when we're talking about doing like Zoom call or whatever, Chuck says literally 5-year-olds do it every day. Like it's not that technically hard, right? And Jerry says, Chuck, cease to breathe before another insult. Tom needs a gallon of ranch for that pizza.
Now, you're not wrong with the
We got-
second part. He is putting sauce on it. It's
Tiger
just
sauce,
tiger
man.
sauce. And also,
Fucking amazing.
Does Jerry ever like change
That's
the
what you're
like his
The fucking record?
yeah,
No.
like literally it's the
No.
same. It's the same 5 things.
Destroy you. You're weak.
Cease to breathe.
Yes.
I'm bald. You know. I think
true.
I've covered it. I think I've covered everything.
It's true. God damn, I'm making a mess over here.
The sauce is awesome on this pizza.
Where'd you
Let
get
me
the
try the
sauce?
sauce
Okay,
real
it is.
quick. Let me see the sauce. I'm going to do a little pinky dab. I already ate before
Amazon.
it showed up.
Okay.
But you can get it at Food Line. You can get it at Walmart.
He came up to me. He was like, "Dude, I bought 6 bottles. Here's one." He was like, "This shit's awesome." And then he put a little dab on my pinky downstairs. I was like, "Oh."
I'll send you home with a bottle.
Feels good on the go.
Jared, I'll send you home with a bottle. I'm going to try to get sponsored by Tiger Sauce.
He put some on the tip, and then he tasted it.
Yeah, it was
Said
good.
it was even better.
It was good.
Whoa, this is the wrong channel for that.
Sweet and spicy.
Now, or the
And
right
then we-
channel.
I put some on the
Depends on
chicken.
who's on the podcast.
This is the preview
I put
for
some-
the other site.
I put some on chicken and then fed it to the cows.
Whole chicken, still
Yeah.
alive?
Yeah.
No, see, you did it wrong. You don't put it on. You make them drink it so it gets marinated in.
So that's what they
Dude,
mean
I
by
totally
a saucy
forgot.
cock. Understandable.
No, not the roosters.
True. Okay, just a regular chicken.
You throw the roosters from the 3rd story, right?
Okay.
That
Then you feed the chickens to the cows, and then you go milk the bulls. He was telling us how to run a farm.
So yeah, I bought a farm recently.
Yeah.
Why is everybody buying farms?
So tell
Well,
us.
this one was really cheap, right?
Well, Marty explained it in last
No, no.
episode. There's a farm, and then there's farms.
No, Jared got a farm.
Yeah,
Like-
I pretty much inherited it. It was a couple bucks.
Farmville?
Dude had a lot of stuff on his face, like pimples and stuff. He'd been donating blood, you know. Had a lot of marks from donating blood.
Why the fuck is that
But-
important?
You're
Just-
missing
that's
the
weird.
point of this.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
but I bought this farm, and he told me, you know, the process. He's like, feed the chickens to the cows, and then milk the bulls, you know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, not too hard. Really weird though. I
I
thought
would assume
cows,
it gets pretty hard.
Did his pimples on the
if-
face tell you that, or did he tell you that?
He told me
Oh, okay.
as he was looking like in another direction, but he's
His eye-
old.
He's boss-eyed, so
Yeah.
his eyes look in 2 different directions.
Yeah, he's pretty old, so I guess that's why he's selling the farm.
Pass the sauce.
It's right there.
Remember how it got here?
Will did a dab and then left it in front. of me.
Put it right there. You know what I mean? It's in range. Clearly.
I don't want to reach across.
Shit. No.
Sauce came out the back end.
God damn it! Can you grab a paper towel? I can't make fun of him for the Red Bull incident anymore.
Oh, did it already happen?
Did it get
Yeah,
here?
it-
Just if you're wiping the table, it's the Red Bull on there still. it's got cleaning
It's
solution.
eating-
yeah, it's
the
natural
cleaning
cleaner.
solution.
It's eating through the wood.
I wouldn't wipe your face with that.
Shit. Tiger sauce is good. So anyway, Jared, what do you do, man?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Besides milk bowls.
Other than the farm?
Yeah, besides milking
What
bowls.
do you actually do in real life?
You want the technical version,
He
or you
hosts
want like the actual?
He's the producer of the podcast.
Yeah,
That's true.
I produce
Not-
the
not today,
podcast. There's another
Sure.
website I produce. That's $5.99 to look at.
It's like the OnlyFans place,
Yeah,
but better.
it's a place where fans can go,
Yeah, it's like
but there are only fans that can
Yeah.
go. So it's pretty exclusive.
or Fansly.
Like box
Yeah.
fans or like
Sometimes ceiling
oscillating
fans.
Ceiling fans?
Any kind of fans,
Number
as
one,
long as they
fans,
pay.
Yeah, $5.99, and I mean, you don't even really have to be a fan.
Mhm.
You can enjoy it.
You don't
Little,
eat it.
Little Caesars? $5.99.
How do you think I bought that pizza?
I'm glad that my subscription's going to something worthwhile.
Everybody
I have
enjoys.
I have 8 subscribers, and coincidentally, I bought 8 pizzas for my daughter's
Yeah.
birthday party.
I am a mechanic in the Army. I work on Humvees, LMVs, anything that has wheels, pretty much.
I'm sorry.
But actually, I just sit around on my phone most of the day.
Tax dollars hard at work there.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hey,
Sits on his phone,
yeah, you know.
watches podcasts.
Brand new
Yeah, there's this
Snap-on
podcast
boxes.
I've been watching.
Not
FBTV.
one. Not
What is it?
one fucking fingerprint on there.
FBTV.
What is it?
FB. Fuck.
You literally work on the podcast.
I'm a producer.
This is only my second day.
It's
I'm a
on the
producer.
TV.
I said it
literally
right.
on
I
the
know I
TV.
said it right.
No.
FBVtv.
You said FBTV, and then you said FBTTV. Then you
It's-
said
we're on Twitch.
FBT TV.
Twitch TV.
You know your
Look,
channel is fucked up when the people that are on your channel don't even know the fucking
Look,
That's
channel.
true.
There is a reason I joined the Army and didn't go to college.
He didn't have to think.
That is prime example. What do you want?
Look, don't you talk about Jerry like that.
Oh.
I would have been in the Air Force, but they denied me.
So first of all,
I had two options: mechanic or infantry.
I would have been in the Air Force, but they denied me too.
There's a common theme here.
Yeah. Right.
I was like early 20s. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. My dad goes, I was in the Air Force. It helped me. You should go join the Air Force. I was like, all right, good call. I went down there, and the recruiter's like, we can get you any job you want. Now we got to do your background check. I was like, sick. And then my background check came back, and they said, listen here, you fucking criminal. The Marines are down the hall.
Take these crayons with you.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I saw what they did to my cousin. Absolutely not. I'll figure something else out.
Was your cousin Japanese?
No, he was a Marine.
Oh, World War II jokes.
No, I mean
Never
Okinawa jokes.
That's true. Funny enough, he was stationed in Okinawa. Oh, Kadena.
Mm. No, actually, I think the Foster, the Marine base, was the one that had the most problems because that's where the largest congregation of crayon eatery was. And I've met a lot of really good Marines there, like actually good people. But I also did meet a lot of really dumb.
So what
Dumb
crayons are
people.
mostly missing out of the box?
All of them.
Jesus. I thought they had
They just kind of
specific
nibble
ones.
across the
Actually,
heads.
I
the
thought they had
red
specific
ones. The red ones actually taste the best.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Cherry, you can't beat cherry.
Mm.
Banana's my favorite.
You know how I know? You know how I know there's no Marines in the room? Because nobody stood up and said, "No, they all taste the same."
Oh my god.
So,
Now that this show has gone to shit.
wow, you show up and all of a sudden the fucking whole goddamn podcast derails. All right, welcome Trish to the podcast. Get the fucking no. Oh man. So, out of curiosity, you want one? Oh, just sniff? Yeah, here's a sniffer. So, out of curiosity, Jared, how long have you been in? For one.
September makes 6 years.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fun
It
times.
does not seem like it's been that long.
It does to me.
Time flies when you're
I feel like I'm coming up on retirement already.
Time flies when you've been riding the big green weenie.
My buddy
is true.
calls me and he was like, I just enlisted for until 2034. I was like, Jesus, what? Because
That's what we call in-def.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a bonus? No, wait, what's that?
Yeah, if you didn't get a bonus for re-enlisting, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You definitely fucked up.
Ah, nice.
So 6 years, mechanic in the military. The starters on those big ass trucks, man. I know you can't lift them by yourself.
no.
Those things
So
are huge, right?
Humvees, it's not the easiest thing, but you can do it by yourself. Like you prop your knee up a little bit on there while you're getting the bolts. LMTVs, you actually can because you're sitting on top of the engine and it's all kind of like picking it from the tire and it's right there. Now Hemmets, fuck no. You're gonna
Yeah,
need
fuck
a
it.
ratchet
Yeah.
strap and at least two other people.
Right.
It fucking sucks.
The real question is, are you the one person in that shop that knows how to do anything? Because 90% of the people that have done your job that I've met in the professional sphere,
You don't have to cut the mic.
I like cupping it. It makes me feel happy. 90% of the people that have done your job that I've met in the professional sphere after service don't even know what end of the wrench to use.
Yeah,
So I feel like there's like one or two guys in each shop that does all of the work, and the rest of them just grab tools for them, and it's the wrong tool every time.
Yeah. That's exactly how it goes. Like I said, I had two options: infantry or mechanic. People will talk about the infantry a lot. No, the fucking for whatever reason, mechanic is really low, like on that list. So you just get a ton of people who are like, "This was the better option," and then like all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I want to reclass," and you're like, "I kind of fucking can't. You're gonna need
stuck
class
for
for
life.
that one."
I got a buddy who was
It's-
in the military, and he was head of, like, I guess the motor pool area or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said that, like, when something came in, and he was a machinist, so when something came in and it was fucked up because they put, like, the wrong bolt in, he was like, how the fuck did you get it wrong? Metric is silver. standard is gold or whatever the fuck have you. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, how the fuck do you get it wrong when everything's labeled and color, like it's even color coded for some of these guys. Like,
So you get a lot.
You know?
So like he was saying, you get a lot of people who you get a few select people who know their job and actually care to learn more. And then you get everybody else who ends up becoming the tool bitch. Anytime those people are left alone, they don't give a fuck. You know, somebody's breathing down their neck. You know, hey, get this done. So they don't care if it's fucking metric standard. They don't care if it's right size. They'll put RTV around the bolt so it holds and makes professional
torqued or
appearance.
cross-threaded, tight is tight.
Yeah. Well, so what you do is you keep going until it gets loose, and then you back it off a quarter turn. It's always-
I usually go until it, fully strips it out, and then
That's what I'm saying.
turn.
Yeah,
you
once
keep
it
going
gets
till it's
loose,
loose.
then you just back it off
Yeah.
a quarter turn. You're
okay.
solid.
Tighten it until it's loose.
Natural
Then
Loctite.
go
I'll-
back. Got you.
Yeah.
got
I'll
you.
tell you the first time that I worked with a prior power service diesel mechanic. This is 3 quick short stories of the same individual. His second day, he is hired as a tech level above me, supposedly because of his certification and his experience in the military. The very first vehicle he pulls in is a Toyota Tundra. He racks it, comes over to me and goes, "Hey, can you show me where the drain plug is for the oil?" Because he's doing an oil change. I was like,
Oh, I got a
wait.
story.
I was
for
like,
you.
wait, what? The second story with the same individual, because he's a higher level tech, they gave him a diagnostic that should have gone to really anyone else but him. And it's a no start. He can't figure out what's wrong with it. He's got the inspection port off and the fuel pump out of it. Still can't figure out what's wrong with it, why it's not getting fuel. And our master mechanic comes over and goes, "Hey, dumb fuck, didn't you work on diesels? You can't smell the fucking gas tank on this Toyota Camry is full of diesel."
Oh,
The
Jesus
third and
fucking
final,
Christ.
because they just pumped the wrong shit. The customer, not being honest, had gone and the pump didn't quite fit, and they just sort of filled it anyways.
Oh, man.
Because getting a diesel pump handle into a gas car is a fucking almost
It's a
impossible.
task, but somehow people are still able to do
Yeah,
it.
People do it.
Yeah,
I have a story about that.
and
from
then
a couple
the
months ago.
third,
difference in makes, like Volkswagen has the same
Yeah.
same size fill nozzle on their
but
gasoline.
this was a
and their-
Toyota Camry though.
I was about to say mine
Now,
was a Toyota
the,
Camry as well.
The third and final, and the reason why I hear his nickname forever whenever I see him again is Captain Stabby. He was trying to do a set of drum brakes on the back of a 1500 Chevy, and it's got these W springs.
Yeah.
And they make a tool for it. It makes it really easy. But if you don't have the tool, you can hold the shoe and use a screwdriver against your hand to pivot and pull
I love
the piece
doing
out.
those. I like doing
Right, they're
those.
really
I
easy.
hate it.
As
They're
far
really
as
easy.
far as like disc brakes or drum brakes go, they're some of the easiest to do.
Yeah.
Well, this fucking idiot has got the screwdriver vertically into the spring and is trying to pry it this way.
Please tell
And
me he knocked
dude,
his eyes out.
Dude, he missed, slipped, did not stop, and jabbed it right into his right eye. Safety glasses sitting right here on his forehead.
Fucking
Had to have him. He had to get medevaced to fucking Chapel Hill for them to save his eye. So we called him Captain Stabby from then on out until he got fired. So yeah, three, master mechanic,
damn.
multiple certifications, 5 years as a military mechanic. And I was like, please, never again. And when they come to you and say that they used to work as a diesel mechanic in the military, you go, "Oh, that's really nice." So, anyways, Jiffy Lube is down the street, and you can start there and learn like
you used
everyone
to be
else
a diesel
did.
mechanic? That's great. So down in South Carolina, there's a Boeing. They need diesel mechanics
I'm
really
serious.
bad.
They, you do what everyone else did. I started my very first mechanic job was like a real mechanic job. I was working at Jiffy Lube changing oil and learning from the bottom up. Dead up serious. You spent a lot of time in that Jiffy Lube and probably learned a fuck ton from there that you take onto your next job.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to stay there forever.
We'll see what
right?
happened. What happened with my career, starting out with Jiffy Lube, which Jiffy Lube treated me really good. I'm not gonna lie. They took me in. I didn't have the best of records. They took me in and they kept me in. I grew as far as a mechanic, wants to go, and I'm still learning to this day. But it was hard working there at one point because they wanted to do. They got what's called brakes and services now, and so that's where they do brakes, rotors. The way it was explained to me was anything the tech feels like they're comfortable with doing, we could do.
Yeah, they want to try to make more money.
Exactly. So, upon learning everything from side jobs I was doing and working in automotive and this that, and the other, I took on a rear main seal job, which, mind you, there's no lifts there.
Yeah, no real lifts. They have the unibody lift,
and they have a pit. And then the bay I was working on, they had the unibody lift where it's a scissor lift and there's no pit underneath it. So I was doing all this on the ground, and what really turned me off about this was a couple things. The manager there, he approved it, but if I got in a bind, I was thinking about it while I was doing the job. If I got in a bind, he did not know like what to do to fix the problem.
Yeah,
because
you're on your
the
own.
training's out, so I'm on my own. So at that point, it was like it's kind of hard for working for somebody that does not know more than you.
Yeah,
and you'd want the manager to be like, well, if he's in a pinch, like I can get him out of this because I know. And the second thing that turned me off from Jiffy Lube and what made me want to go to Automotive Performance fully, the district manager came by and he's like, we shouldn't be doing those jobs. So I was really comfortable with doing rear mains at the time. I didn't have a problem with it. I was already doing them at Automotive Performance, and he was like, we really shouldn't be doing that. You know, I was doing timing belts there. So not only was I the salesperson there, which I happened to be one of the top salespeople for Jiffy Lube in the region as far as like dollars to customers, I would sell the job. I would do the job. I'd order the parts for the job, and then I have to go back to sales. So I was like busting my ass at Jiffy Lube, you know, for only a couple cents on the dollar for the job I did, you know. And man, like I said, I don't not like Jiffy Lube, but there's a lot of things that if I were to say on here, then, you know, I might get in a little bit of trouble because of things that was being done or not being done or supposed to be done, but still got charged to get done, but never been done.
Oh, dude. The amount of times that I saw when I worked there, because I worked at 3 different Jiffy Lubes throughout the city as I kind of transferred around. I was only working for Jiffy Lube for about 6 months, I think, before I moved to the dealership, and then went from there and just kind of kept changing every couple of years. But yeah, the amount of times I saw people where they would just like drain the overflow tank and refill it and call it a coolant flush, or
dude, I've seen
just
where
the shystiest stuff.
I've seen
dude.
Where the lower bay tech, like,
not even open the drain plug. Yeah.
No, they would drain it,
Oh.
but the filter was one of those.
Dude,
the cap type filters,
Yep.
like a Toyota Camry
Yep.
or a Toyota Avalon, where you take the cap off, the
Yep.
paper filter inside,
Yep.
and they'd be like, you know what?
lifetime filter.
Go ahead and add oil.
Yep.
Adding. All right. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Man, I've seen it so many fucking times, man.
Yep.
It's unreal and people don't know, and you see all these like CNN or whoever the hell does it on YouTube where they go in and they try and debunk the whole Jiffy Lube thing, and like, man, it's actually true. Like, that shit is real, like, everywhere. And it's not just where they were at in California or whatever that YouTube channel was on, but it's everywhere, man. And I've worked at all of them in Fayetteville because they were all together. So I got, you know, if I wanted extra hours, I go here.
I don't even think it's just Jiffy Lube though. I think I was talking about about people getting taken advantage of earlier because they don't know anything about cars, and just having a basic knowledge would help them. There's also a lot of people in the mechanical field that do shit like that, and it's really onto the shop's sort of moral compass to keep those people out of the shop or in line and actually doing what they're supposed to do and not like regressing, because being a mechanic is kind of like being a doctor, except for you're a drug addict alcoholic. Like, you know what I mean? And you're working on cars instead of people, but it's still like, if something comes in wrong, you make it right. Like, you know, here's my diagnosis, here's my prognosis, you know what I mean? And here's the drug to make it, you know what I mean? Like, you're essentially
your prescription.
The same sort of thing.
Right.
Except for you didn't go to university for like a million years and get $1 million in debt to do it. You just were like, I like drinking 6-packs so much that a 12-pack sounds more economical, but I need to make more money to do that. So I started turning wrenches. I mean,
well, it's just people. It seems to me like they just don't care anymore. Is kind of what it seems like. It's like, you know what? And in these times now, it's like, you know what? I can get a job that'll give me a sign-in bonus or whatever the hell the case may be. People not willing to learn is another.
Oh, and I would say like it depends on where you are, but like flat rate pay scales also play into that sort of shiesty kind of mechanicking, because what would make more sense to you? Cutting a corner where you go, well, it's kind of like telling like a white lie, right? You cut this little corner, and realistically, is the customer going to know that you didn't do this? Is it going to cause a drastic problem to the car?
Right.
No. Do they pay for it? Yes. Are you going to make money from it? Yes. You're like, well, you know, I cut the corner on this little thing, and then the next service it comes in, this will get caught or something like that. And you sort of like wiggle your way through it. Like mentally is what people do. And it ends up being, and this is something that I saw, especially in my time coming up, is that they'll be like, well, if I don't do this, I don't get my flag for the day. And the more I do this, the more flag I get, the more money I make.
The company incentivizes cutting corners.
As long as you don't get caught.
Essentially, yeah.
As long as you don't
exactly.
get caught.
Yeah.
Right.
But flag rate as a whole just sort of
It's
is
10 times worse in Canada.
Well, see, that's different. That I understand where you're, but the shop I'm working at is actually not like that. So,
that's a mom and pop
well,
shop.
yeah.
So
they might bill the
performance
customer.
Fucking
They might bill the customer based on established labor rates,
Right.
but they won't pay the technicians based on established labor rates because they want the job to be done right
We
without
don't
any
even,
issue.
We don't even build the hours. A perfect example. You got a Chevy Silverado needs a oil pressure switch right in the back. All data or Mitchell or not Mitchell.
I mean, Mitchell has
Mitchell and
all data has.
You're talking about
there's
2.1 hours because you're supposed to take the intake manifold off
Yeah.
on those, which is very easy, not really hard to do.
Yeah.
But I can cut the corner and get the job done faster if I stick a swivel back there and my oil pressure switch socket and
Yeah.
get it done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So even though it is that 2.1 hours, there are corners that can be cut, but at our shop,
yeah, but that's
not
that's
really
not a
cutting
cut. That's not
corners.
cutting a corner.
it
Right.
kind of.
No,
Kind of, because
No.
realistically, when you take the intake
There's a
off,
difference
the
between
gaskets
working
are bad.
smarter
No.
and cutting corners. Cutting corners is essentially, omitting things that actually needs to be done and that the customer is
no.
actually
Well, what I'm
paying
saying
for.
is you take
if
the
the customer
intake off
if
and
the
you-
customer is paying for you to replace the oil pressure switch,
Right,
and you perform that repair,
right.
it's finished. What I'm saying is the customer is paying for, let's just say they go, I'm going to use Firestone because I saw this happen a couple of times before people got fired for doing stuff like this because they get some of the other mechanics, myself included, would be like, yo, what the fuck? You can't do this. It's literally robbing. Where they would say, look, you need to do a brake job. And then they would test the brake fluid and it's
For the copper or whatever.
yeah,
right?
for copper breakdown, stuff like that, or for moisture, stuff like that.
Right,
And it would
right.
pass it. And then they would mix it with like old brake fluid that they had on their toolbox. And then the customer would pay for a brake flush
Oh,
in
I see what you're
addition to
saying.
their brake job that they were doing.
I see what
And
you're
then the
saying.
technician would not do it because it's not going to hurt the car, right? The car doesn't actually need the service or
There-
could go a little
I
bit
see what
before
you're
the
talking
service.
about.
but
you
it's an
know,
upsell.
and they would pad an extra 7/10 of an hour
Right.
on their
Yeah.
2-hour brake job. So then they get almost 3 hours of pay for a job that's going to take them about an hour to do and stuff like that. Or I saw people where they would do, when they would charge labor, they would charge timing belt labor in addition to water pump labor for
And it's-
doing a
and
full
it's-
job.
And it's
so
the
you'd
same amount of labor.
no,
but
well,
they're just tacking it
no.
on
The timing,
together,
the
right?
timing belt's like 4 hours. The water pump's like 4.7 because you have to remove the timing belt to get to the water pump.
Right.
You get the 7/10 of the hour to replace the water pump
So,
while
but
you're there.
now they're paying for 8.7 hours of
Exactly.
labor.
Stuff
Yeah.
like
Okay,
stuff
never
like
mind.
that.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
got
talking
you.
about. Is that flat rate would encourage things like that happening that do nothing but just disservice the customer's wallet.
Well, that
the
should be
service
on-
itself gets done. The vehicle is
Right.
repaired and
Well,
working.
That should be on the service advisor then, wouldn't you think? Is that
Yeah, but a lot of times, like, and you should know this, the service advisors don't know anything either,
true?
and they just
True.
go, "Well, it was a big ticket. I'm gonna get commission too."
And you'd
It
be
looks
surprised how
good.
much that
True.
shit happens
Yeah.
in dealerships
All the time.
all the fucking time.
All the time.
Because
It's
they get
ridiculous.
because your service riders slam pack their mechanics with all these jobs, and the mechanics, you run into one issue and now you're backed up,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, this is a dealership, not Firestone, right?
Oh,
We say
Firestone
the
would be
vehicle is
worse
ready at
there.
this time; it needs to be ready at this time. So it literally, like, they push and incentivize cutting corners, taking shortcuts, and doing shit that they don't actually need to do.
But there is no problem taking a shortcut. And
I mean, like-
getting the
No, no,
job
no.
done correctly.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, well, there's
That's what I was trying to say about the oil pressure switch.
no. Well,
you know,
yeah. Remember,
And-
there was famously Jeep Cherokees used to have this thing where they the resistor would go out for the fan motor, and it was underneath the headlight, and there was a TSB on it where the bumper extended so far under the headlight that you were allowed to actually cut and trim away part of the bumper to get to the resistor. Just remove the headlight, trim away the bumper, replace the resistor, put it back in.
there's actually a few cars where you're there say, you know what, you can trim away.
Yeah, just
that.
that's
There's
part
quite a
of
few
that's
those.
part of what
That's
you're
part of
supposed
the
to do,
service,
right?
Yeah.
And I remember people would charge that labor even if it had already, because those things just failed all the time, especially on the Jeeps. And
If it had already been done
dude,
before.
Dude, they pull the headlight out and it's already trimmed and ready to go. I'm
Yeah.
like, charging that 1.2.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
supposed to be a 4/10 job otherwise, and they're like 1.2.
Yep.
So like stuff like that is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, it just sort of that sort of pay rate incentivizes shiesty behavior.
Well, see,
Yeah.
with Jiffy Lube, when they did the brakes and services,
Well, that's
I
not
don't
even
know
talk
how-
about. They just screwed you if they're letting you do work like that on the pay that I know that Jiffy Lube pays. It doesn't matter. Even if it's years and years later, I know Jiffy Lube's not paying enough for somebody to be skilled enough to do those jobs.
Absolutely
So, like-
fucking not.
like,
When
it's
that breaks in service. Here's how it broke down, and I'm gonna try and explain it as best as I fucking can. So we get paid every 2 weeks, or when I was there, we got paid every 2 weeks. Within that 2 weeks, if our breaks and services sales, let's say, was $2,500, I was a service advisor, so my pay would be 50 cents on my hour. So that's what I would get. That's if I sold $2,500, and every $1,000 after that was another 25 cents. So essentially, when it got broken down, I said, well, I would like to get wrench hours. I want wrench hours for doing this. Jiffy Lube explained it, well, you're going to get more of a bonus by doing sales like this, and your pay should end up being like 15 or 16 an hour. And I'm sitting here, dude, you know how many 25 cent, like every $1,000 I have to sell to get 17 an hour?
Yeah.
Like, they robbed Jiffy Lube, and and I'm not sticking up for them for it, but it is definitely robbery because they want to send you to the A5 brake class.
Yep.
They want to send you to whatever class they can for, like, let's say, well, they don't have classes for spark plugs, but they want you to torque everything down to spec. And depending on the manager, they might not even do that. The one I was working for, it was like, man, just get it done. If you feel like you can do it, do it. But the pay for it, I was like, I could definitely go anywhere else and get like 25, 30 an hour for this.
Yep.
And the pay they tried to make it seem like, okay, well, if you do so many in sales or whatever, you'd be getting, that 20 or 30 when really it was only like $15 an hour.
Yep.
If that, because at that time I think I was making like 12 an hour, but the pay for it was unreal. And the people that are mechanics that really have nowhere to go because they weren't hiring at that time, they would go to Jiffy Lube and they would do all these services, and knowing damn well they can make 30 an hour somewhere else. Like, I felt so bad for him. So bad. And I knew a couple guys. One guy, he was a diesel mechanic, not from the military, of course, but he was a diesel mechanic. And man, the stuff he would do, like, I'm sitting here like, I would never fucking do that in here. Like, fuck no. And man, he would knock him out and he would only get paid like shit, So I feel bad for some of those guys, but then other times I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, because some of them guys really don't know what they're doing, and they get on this bonus, and they don't even have to do the work. So, like, I would get this bonus, and whoever was put on this breaks and services bonus, they would get paid no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. So if I did all $5,000 worth of work, I sold all $5,000 worth of work, and I did everything, whoever was on that bonus plan got the bonus, which is total bullshit.
Oh yeah.
The way that Jiffy Lube treated people was.
I mean, that's just corporate.
It's
corporate
Big
jobs
companies.
in general.
Yeah.
They
Are
squeeze every last penny they can.
Yeah, well, because like it or not, what they want to do is essentially increase their stock dividend at the end of the year, and how they do it.
They have shareholders that
they don't care. They don't care, and they don't. And it's disgusting, and bring out the guillotine. You know what I'm saying?
I remember one time.
Let's burn this mother down.
One guy did a fuel filter
You do
on
need
something.
to go on Mac's podcast.
Dude, you'd be surprised. Mac and I agree on a lot more than you would think.
Same.
Not to the same extent,
right?
But there's definitely.
We're definitely going to have Mac on.
I'm excited.
100%.
I want to be here for that.
I'm
be so ready for that.
Yeah,
I would just sit here and just argue with him about all kinds of things.
That man can fucking talk. My God, articulately.
Mm-hmm.
And
he delivered me a fucking pizza one day, and I never thought he'd leave. I love Mac to death. Don't get me wrong. I love him to death, but I never thought he was. I was like, damn, I didn't even know you were delivering pizzas. And he was like, well, God damn, can I just eat? Like, but I love Mac to death. That is my dude. That is my dude. I love him.
Mac's awesome, dude. I'll definitely be having him on, and I'm going to try to avoid politics, but we're going to have Mac on.
Have me here so I can, like, dude, I'll just do the political dive.
Even Will in the background. Fuck you.
No.
No, I'll have you on.
I'll
Mac for sure.
Because then you can just have us talk politics, and you be like, y'all are fucking what?
No, I'll probably just produce that episode so I don't have to sit in on it at all.
It'll be enjoyable.
Jared, you'll get a day off.
It'll be so enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I mean it'll be great for the viewers.
I mean, you'll just have a lot of angry write-ins because I feel like
100%.
The 7 viewers we have will all disagree strongly with both of us, but extremely. There's 3 viewers.
Yeah.
They will disagree
Austin,
strongly
Karma,
with me.
which is Chuck, and
I think Karma's gone.
else.
Yeah, Chuck tuned out. I mean, it's a long podcast.
I think he might have paused it and then walked away and then came back because he was commenting about shit we said like 10 minutes ago. So
yeah.
And we don't listen. We don't listen to little bitches.
damn, he called you out.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about something we haven't talked about today.
Yeah, true.
K
Definitely
cars.
haven't. Yeah, K cars, dude. It's really fun.
Dude, you were in Japan, so
yeah, I did.
You know
I did
something
live in
about K
Japan.
cars. What's the deal with that? We got like 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Since Jared, I'm gonna fill you in since you fucking missed it.
So what happened was
Trish
we
was
had
trying
like
to
a
cue us in.
30-minute conversation that did not make
and
it
it
to
didn't
the
even
air.
make it live. It made
No,
it,
it was only
it
like
made an intro
12 minutes.
If you
It's like
see
20.
If you see
It's
a
12 minutes.
13-second thing on FBVtv, just know that was her fucking fault.
Yeah,
it was
so-
totally 100%. It was Trish.
You're fine.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I had started late.
I don't know. She's hired right now. Look at her. I mean, she's been
Killing
producing
it.
the whole ride.
Baller.
Hey.
She's doing good.
So yeah, K cars, man.
Good to have a backup. I'll pay you. All right.
Sub 1,000 cc vehicles, small frame, small form factor.
K as in KEI.
KEI.
Yeah.
That are made for the tight confines and small streets of Japan, as well as just that their whole mindset of how things are.
Right.
Like smaller footprint for everything.
Yeah. Low emissions.
No, just being compact. I mean, even in the way they live.
And they are low emissions though.
Yeah, they are. Really fun to drive for what they are. Great on gas. I think the K trucks are probably the cooler stuff. Some of the little old turbo 3-cylinder like 90s shit boxes are pretty cool. They don't really go very fast
I like
at
the
all.
Honda Acties.
With the Lacty boys, yeah.
Yeah. That's I'm getting one. 100%.
I'm excited for that.
He sent me
I'm actually-
a fucking video. Right?
Dude, we're gonna
Yeah.
B
and he
swap
was like,
that.
dude,
shit.
we got it. No. He sent me
No.
a fucking video. And this thing was off-road. And it had like monster fucking
Dude, we're
tires.
gonna B swap
and
it.
I was looking at minute.
We're putting
like
a
2
CRV
something,
motor in there.
and the fucking camera was underneath. The Acti went to drive over the camera, and you can see this 4-wheel drive was struggling.
Yeah.
The fucking transfer case was twerking.
Yeah.
Over the fucking. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like.
Dude, we're gonna put
Man,
a
let's
CRV drivetrain in this
I
thing.
told him let's build the
No.
fuck out of it. He was
Let's
like,
put a CRV drivetrain in
he's
it.
not going to do it, dude.
No, well, I mean,
real time 4-wheel drive,
It's-
2-liter 4-cylinder.
it
Come
already
on.
has real time 4-wheel drive.
I tried to talk to him. I was like, dude,
But
let's
like
build
we could put the beefy units in there.
I said, let's build the fuck out
Why
of
do
this
you want a
thing.
too
beefy
big.
unit? Put a beefy unit in
too
there.
big.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Dude, people put B series in 1960s minis. You can put one in
Gaziano
a
was
K
talking
truck.
about LS swapping Miatas and RX-7s
Yeah,
in the
that's true.
fucking
I have
first
seen
episode.
that.
Come on, man.
No, so check it out. What we're gonna do, and you'll like this.
Elephant.
We're
What?
Elephant.
elephant.
Yeah, Dodge's Elephant motor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck
Yeah.
that thing.
So I want to show you real quick
Fuck that thing.
what
That was God's motor. If God came down and had to pick one motor, that'd be it.
He would take
Wrong.
a shit on it. He would take
No.
a shit on that fucking
Wrong.
motor.
No.
No.
Best motor.
No.
Absolutely.
So-
fucking not.
No.
So
Best
Jared,
motor.
just to give you
No.
an idea of what we're
Elephant.
getting,
You're fired.
me and Marty are actually going to be getting Honda Acties. They're these tiny little mini trucks, right?
Yeah, I've been looking
So-
at them to get at the range. That way
Yeah,
we don't
so
have to carry
we're-
shit
that's
around.
what he-
we
that's
were
what they
looking
were
at
talking to me
Polaris.
about.
We were looking at Polaris Rangers
Mhm.
and Can-Am Defenders,
Which are
Yeah.
expensive
and they're
as shit,
so
dude.
expensive, even used.
Yeah.
A 2006 is like, or excuse me, like a 2016 is like still almost 20K.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? Like, fuck that, right? So we're going to get these. They're all-wheel drive, real-time all-wheel drive. You can put decent sized wheels and tires on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got all that cargo space. The sides of the bed fold down so you can have a complete flat surface. So if you're hauling hay or some
bodies.
kind of awkward sized package of some sort,
And a trash bag.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly that.
and a shovel. So if you're doing that, like you have all that space, right? So that's what we're going to do. But we are going to paint them santan, and we're going to put decals and everything on them like LMTVs. We're going to make them mini LMTVs. It's going to
So,
be fucking
The video he
awesome.
sent me, they were off-roading, right?
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, let's build. Dude, I was excited. Like,
Yeah.
let's build. He was
Let's
like,
put a 2-liter in
he was
there.
like, we're not going to build. We're just going to keep this normal. I was like, what?
Why?
I mean,
After watching that off-road video with those
The
fucking
first
monster
ones.
fucking wheels, I was like, dude,
We're putting
I mean,
it.
we
gotta fucking do it.
because we're not buying them for toys yet. So we're gonna get them.
Yes,
we're gonna get acquainted and
They look like
familiar.
toys to me.
We're gonna get acquainted and familiar with the parts and maintenance on them and this, that, and the other, and then we will be
The only
or you can get acquainted
to
with the
turn
parts and
them
maintenance
into
of
toys.
a CRV, which is going to be very easy to get stuff for. You just put the
I get
2-liter
that,
in
but
there.
The only way you really
CRX
get,
parts are easy to get too, and I can put CRX parts on a fucking.
They're getting harder and harder.
Yeah, but around here, the amount of fucking shitbox EFs and
Harder and harder.
CRXs
The one might wreck out here
that
and
have
you can scavenge
compatible
it
parts that have compatible parts.
right for your driveway.
You can find that on Phil Army on YouTube and also in a driving fail compilation video from Mega Driving School.
Yeah.
Is the engine in
it was
the
actually
cab on
it
that
actually
one?
made those.
Oh yeah,
shit.
yeah. They
Oh,
emailed
yeah.
me and they were like, "Hey, can we use this?" I was like,
Fuck yeah, dude.
So it's on 2 different YouTube channels.
That's awesome.
The
pretty
engine
cool.
on those, are they in the cab?
No, it's under the bed.
It's under the bed. Yeah, it's behind it.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
the Japanese cab over engines, not like the
Yeah.
Ford ones, but it's
Yeah.
the cab over. Really, is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you still had the old Chrysler minivans where you had to take the fucking front seat and fold it forward
Yeah.
and have it. It's like that, but
Yeah.
it's in the very back.
Yeah, it's there's actually a panel on the bed that you unscrew, and it'll give you access to do like
essentially sits
minor
above.
maintenance.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
partially above
Yeah.
and in front of.
We have
But they're super easy to swap out because all you have to do is detach like 3 things
Don't
from the
say swap
undercarriage,
wheel's gonna get hard.
and the entire fucking
Don't
Too
say
late.
engine
swap
and
Too late. I'm
transmission
already
pop right
diamond.
out.
You said
We
harder
have
and harder.
gators
I thought
diamonds
you were getting
on
harder.
the-
and
Jesus
harder.
Christ! Too many people
Diamond,
talking.
dude.
We have gators on the airstrip that same way. It's 2 pins. The bed folds up. You can fully take it off by unbolting it.
Right.
Everything is right there, and it is really easy to work on. So
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why we should definitely put a 2-liter in there.
On my second one, we'll do that.
No,
we're gonna
just-
turn them into toys
Just
that we
You
can
said you
actually
wanted
go
to
and-
get
look.
acquainted with the
Look,
fucking
you
thing.
buy. You
Yeah,
put
on
you
my
get
second
a
one, I'll
junkyard
turn it to a
2-liter.
toy.
You put a junkyard 2-liter in there. You buy a $150 Chinese Whirly Boy. You put that on there, and then you
we're
just
gonna
go.
do it.
Yeah.
Now we're turboing it.
Yes.
Okay, and we got to relocate. We got to mount a front mount to the front of the
No,
cab.
no, you put it on the top of the cab,
right on top.
and then you have the snorkel right there, so you can still go through water
Jesus
with it.
Christ. Yeah. Okay. Maybe when I have money and time to build a toy,
That's very.
We'll do a toy.
This is like
That's what the fuck
$1,500.
you're buying.
So
That's
overkill.
$1,500.
That's
No,
what
this
you're
isn't a toy.
buying.
This is a utility vehicle. I mean, it's an actual
It could be
utility
a
vehicle.
turbo utility vehicle.
could be.
Why don't you just, if that was the case, just
Sure.
get you a little piece of shit.
This is
like
what
96 Nissan hardbody.
This is what happens
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
good luck
surround
finding one of those.
yourself when you surround yourself
You
with
flood
nothing
the-
but mechanics.
You flood the fucking motor, and
Yeah.
guess what? Pull the spark plugs out, blow the water out,
Yeah.
new spark plugs, and that thing is ready to ride again.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
Nissan
Well,
Yeah,
hard
but have
body.
you seen what they're going for now? Everybody wants like double, triple what they used to
100%.
be.
Speaking of
Yeah.
which, that
100%.
fucking GTO that I sold, a guy wanted to trade me a
the
fucking
unsellable one.
It was a Zuzu fucking
Trooper.
Ombre.
yeah.
An Ombre. It was
Zuzu.
mini truck
Zuzu
the fuck out or
Ombre,
whatever.
yeah.
It was lowered.
You're talking about a Samurai?
No,
it was-
Ombre.
It was an Ombre,
Ombre.
dude. It was a truck. It's the equivalent to a Mazda like B2000 or whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck they were.
2,500.
The guy had it fucking tubbed out, whatever, lowered, dropped down. He was like, dude, I'll trade you this for your goat. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that thing is worth at least
How much more
$1,000.
money are you gonna throw in there, though?
So the guy was like,
Sure, the truck and $12,000.
That's
we'll call
what
it a
that's
deal.
what I told him. He was like, you obviously know nothing about mini trucks, you fuck.
This is
So
a
what the-
Zuzu.
Oh, I
Have you
remember
seen
that.
one of these on the market?
That's where you go. You're right. I don't, and I'm going to continue to not know about them. Fuck off. Like,
I said, well, I told him, I said, you sell that thing for 13, you come buy mine for 12. You
Yeah.
know, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll even take
Yeah.
the hit. If
You
you, can
sold
sell
your GTO for 12?
no, it was. I think it was like
13.
13, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. It was 13, but well, fuck. What is that supposed to mean? I didn't know you were gonna get that. That's what you. That
Didn't you have it built, though? No, I'm not saying
No, no,
it
no,
wasn't
no, no,
worth
no,
it. I'm saying
no.
that seems low
No,
to me. I
some-
thought you had it built.
Some GI just got out of basics, stationed
Mm-hmm.
here at Fort Bragg. His mom gave him like a 2012 Tahoe,
Okay.
paid for.
This story.
Paid
Jesus.
for.
here it goes.
I'm glad we talked about K cars.
paid for. He got rid of it.
Hey,
And got
it could
the
be a B
GTO
car.
from 95 Muscle.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And
Yes.
I don't know their business. I've heard they consign cars. I heard they build cars. I don't know, but anything that I've had at my shop from there
From
has
where?
all been I-95 Muscle. Have all been had to been rebuilt or built or whatever the
Mm.
fuck. I don't, like I said, I don't know their business, so I don't know.
They're a car dealer.
They are. I didn't know if they built cars or not.
They're the only indoor car dealership in North Carolina, I think.
No, Raleigh.
Oh, is there
has
one? Okay, then they're the
Ford.
only one in Fayetteville.
Okay.
It's fully indoor, climatized, and everything. You
Yeah.
just go over there and,
And
it's
they people
single
people
warehouse.
consign their classic cars or whatever.
Mhm, yeah.
So
I think they
anyways,
do almost mostly consignment.
the GI that had it, he decided he was going to race it or wanted to be cool. I don't know, but it came in and he blew the motor. Built the motor for him.
That's usually
$5,000
what
later.
happens.
His mom, he never told his mom that he got the GTO and got rid of the Tahoe, so she had to fly out from Hawaii to pay for this fucking
Christ. And that's an expensive flight.
thing. Yeah.
That's a new motor. That
You tell
flight-
me. You tell me.
Yeah, that
So-
flight is the cost of the new motor by itself.
Yeah.
Right. So we ended up building a motor for it. We didn't put new lifters in there. They wanted to save on costs, whatever. But it's LS. You want to put those new lifters in there, whatever. It had an aftermarket cam in there, and it already had all this other stuff in there. So we put all that back. I think I want to say about 4 to 6 months later, the tranny goes out in it from him dogging it or whatever. But it's the 4L60 in there. It's not. There's nothing special about.
I mean,
the tranny.
those
You
are
can't-
decent transmissions.
if
though.
built correctly. But
Yeah.
from the factory, there's like 57 updates or
Oh,
TSBs
okay.
on those fucking
Mhm.
things. So we built the transmission on it, and that was another $4,500. Mom had to fly out. She was like, "You need to get rid of this fucking car." Well, another couple months go by, and the key fob does not connect with the car anymore, which is like $450 to buy and tune it to the car. So they were like, "Fuck that!" So we had somebody come out, deactivate the security system just so at least the key would work. You can drive it, so you still have to lock it manually. And then it comes back because the water pump failed, and they were like, "We're tired of this fucking car. We can't do it no more." But we didn't know he overheated it or not with the failed water pump.
Yep.
So we put a new water pump on it. We get it ready to go, and it starts overheating again. The dude blew the head gaskets on this fucking thing. So he got it
Fucking
so
heads are
fucking
warped.
hot. The head's warped.
Aluminum
After they've
heads
already
on
been
a
they've already
fucking GM.
been cut 30 off. We already cut 30 off of them.
Yeah.
It got so hot that the head gaskets actually it didn't have no ridges on it when you took it off. And even after a Silverado or any other Chevy that has 200,000 miles, when you do heads on them, there's still ridges on the factory.
Yeah.
Head this thing was flat as notebook paper. It was flat. I mean, that's how hot he got. He tempered the fucking head gasket.
So he overheated and still
Fuck
drove it
yeah.
home
Tempered it.
from that
Fuck
point.
yeah. And he's still making payments on it. He bought that thing for like 16 or 17,000. And so I said, "Listen, man, whatever you have into the car, like however much you got left to pay off, I will give you cash money as is, no warranties, even with the blown head gasket, I'll give it to you." That's how I made the flip. I picked it up for like $7,500. Put another $600 worth of parts on there, and that thing was ready to go.
So you never had any problems with the engine though?
Absolutely fucking not. No. After I fucked with it, no.
Well, I'm saying from when he overheated it, it was no other issues.
No. The only other thing, it needed a wheel bearing on the passenger side. I went ahead before I sold it. I replaced both fronts. I did one tie rod. The tires were already new on the front. Of course, he burned them down in the back, so I put the same matching run flat tires in the back. So it essentially had a brand new set of tires on there. The only bad thing was it was automatic.
Yeah.
Only bad thing.
What year was it?
05, so it was the 6.0. It wasn't the 5.7, it was the 6.0.
Okay.
The LS2. Yeah. But
Which is a damn good motor.
damn good motor. It's what I got on my Sierra now, which I actually picked up for stupid cheap as well. That guy, we built the motor.
Vortec Max.
It was a 6.0. It's the 6.0
Made with
HO.
real
It's not-
tornadoes.
It's not just the regular 6.0. It's the HO motor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
High
bigger
output.
valves, a little bit bigger of a combustion chamber. We built the motor on that. We told the guy he needed a radiator. He was like, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna save money. I'll do the radiator myself." Turns out he did not replace the radiator. Overheated it so much.
A lot of people have problems with that.
Same thing. It wasn't bad enough to where it warped the heads, but it was bad enough to where it did the same thing and tempered the head gaskets. But we've actually changed companies of the head gasket we use. We're thinking it wasn't necessarily the customer's fault, but maybe the material from those head gaskets, and that's just the way it happened when it got hot. So we actually
Using,
changed
cheap
using
Felpros or some shit.
it wasn't even Felpro. It was something else. It was from
Yeah.
Engine Tech. I don't know what it was, but we did switch over to Felpros, and they have
Gotcha.
definitely done better.
They have like multiple different grades of
Yeah.
fucking head gaskets too.
But anyways, overheated again on that one, and I ended up buying it for him for like $5,000, and now $600 later, brand new parts in there. I put lifters, put new head gaskets. The heads weren't warped, so I didn't recut them, but I did put new valve seals in them and everything, and now I got a brand new truck. It's got the 4L70 in it, though, luckily. A little bit more heavier duty. I don't know if it's been rebuilt or not. I'm assuming not, but it has almost 300,000 miles on the body and that tranny, so those 4L70s are not bad.
Transmission.
transmission. Excuse me.
That's the only thing. Like I've been looking at Suburbans, Yukons. I don't know
They're
what it
fucking
is.
expensive.
Please tell me why.
Because your dad got that Yukon. He said he's had it for a while, and
He's
I
had
didn't
it-
realize he had one.
So he got that one actually really cheap with lowish miles to it.
Yeah.
What's the details on it? I'm actually really
It's
curious
the-
because I want another. I want an 07 to 13. So
it's the previous gym before the 07s. That body
okay,
style.
The
I think it's a
04 to
05
06
or something.
No, they
No.
switched it in the year of 07 or that sometime that year.
So he's
but-
got a 07 and a half roughly, right?
No, it's the previous. I don't know
It's-
the year.
I think it's 05. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it might be that.
So
but
if it's
07,
02 to 06 then.
yeah,
is what he's
pretty
got.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's that body style. But like, and it runs good. You know, GM at the time, whatever paint they use, and it was continued on to the 07s.
The clear coat's flaking on.
No, it's that
Yeah.
white. Whatever white they
Oh.
used that time does not hold up. Like I've never seen a white.
It chalks really bad.
Yeah, whatever they used in it, it's really bad. Like it pills on every car. It's not just the clear coat, which I'm sure after the clear coat's
I
gone,
know
then it
the
happens. But
02, 03's had a problem with the clear coat.
Yeah, you can tell like all on the side and everything. It's
Yeah,
the, it's
The reason I
typical-
know is because my
The-
Suburban's got it.
They-
And
what-
any other
what-
02
typical
to
what
03
happened?
I've
What,
seen.
flaking
I
and
bet what
shit.
happened is that they actually hired a bunch of guys that used to do like the factory painting for pretty much every car Honda ever made. And then they for that year
Yeah.
they had it.
Yeah.
Because if there's
They
one
got
company
Hondas.
that's got Honda,
GM sent all of their cars through Honda's paint
Honda's
shop.
like, man,
But
we will
it's-
make the best fucking motor ever. Paint your car, fuck you.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
get no
fucking
clear coat.
Honda's paint shop was Mako from like 1989
now,
to like
now still
2012.
no still their clear coats
No,
are
that's
still
not too
garbage.
terrible
Yes,
now.
they're still super thin.
Like on the 2016 CRV, it's pretty good.
Still pretty thin by standards.
yeah, whatever white they use though, I'm glad they stopped because
Yeah.
you'll never find something that like years with good white paint unless it was redone. But I mean, so I've looked into them, and right now is a terrible time to buy pretty much
Anything.
anything.
Any car.
But
right now.
Anything.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Somebody can have a 2021 Tahoe, Suburban, Yukon, and it's like, yeah, it has 200,000 miles. Where the fuck
He's-
are you going with
Well,
that?
well,
Like
hold
I
on, hold
don't
on now.
understand that
the
shit.
Suburban and
He's
the
way
Tahoe.
behind.
Who?
He said called out
Oh my god.
when you said fuck you to him, and I was like called out.
Talk about Jerry.
No,
Who?
fucking Chuck.
Chuck.
He's way behind.
Oh well, too bad. He's lost in the mist. But I was looking before I got the truck. Originally that truck was gonna be a flip, but now I love it, so I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
good.
wanted.
I like it.
I
too.
wanted a 07 to 13. That's my favorite body style. on
Yeah, I
the
love that body
Suburbans.
style too.
But you can't complain about the mileage because those are the family vehicles. When you don't want the minivan, you get the Suburban. You know.
No, I understand.
You get the
and
Suburban,
that's why I'm looking into that versus, which if I didn't get something like that, then it would be the Dodge Journey. But the only thing is
Don't do
that body
No.
You
style.
don't want to do that.
No.
Okay,
Do
can
not do
I
that.
finish?
No.
That body
no,
style.
No,
Nope.
you're done.
You can't even finish.
Dodge Journey.
You're
get the
done.
fuck out of here.
Dude. Durango, yes. Durangos are nice.
Yeah, I like Durangos, but
Yeah.
I knew a guy had Dodge
No,
Journey.
you can't.
The fucking timing chains went out on it and didn't even have 100,000 on it.
Let me just go ahead. You said Dodge, and you can stop there. Just no Dodge. Never a Dodge.
Well, anyways, I was looking for 07 to 13. But in all seriousness, when I was looking, they'd have like 300,000 miles on there, and they're still wanting like $16,000 or $17,000.
Yeah, it's
for
were
these
they all
fucking things.
squatted too?
No. Okay, so I got another
I
story
cannot
about that
stand
bullshit
that.
too. I had a champagne-colored Tahoe,
Mhm.
which I ended up doing as a flip. I got it for $500, built the motor in it, got it ready for a flip, and nobody was buying this fucking thing. This is when the COVID first started happening.
Yeah.
and all
Didn't somebody
the
wreck
COVID.
it?
I'm not going to get into that.
The Coof.
I'm not going to get into that right now.
Okay.
But I couldn't sell it. But that was at the time this squatting thing was starting to die down, and they were making laws about it and everything.
Yeah.
So everybody was trying to get rid of their squatted shit, and they weren't.
Well, hold on.
wanting
That law,
12
like, have you looked into it?
Yeah.
That's still fucking. If you follow like by the law, you're still fucking.
I'm not going to listen to you. You
really
talked about
squatted.
a Dodge Journey and wanting
Yeah.
one, so fuck you.
I didn't say I wanted one. I said
But you were looking at one, right?
He considered
Fuck
it
yeah.
strongly.
He did consider.
yeah. I also considered the the Acadias. What's the one?
No.
So, hold on,
Acadia.
They
Dude,
have
those
the
things are
3.6
awful.
I
liter
know
Those
piece
things
of
are
shit.
awful.
I
Holy
get. They have a
shit.
lot of problems. I said I looked into it. You got to look into something to know the problems it comes with.
All right.
But it
Fair
was.
enough.
I wanted
All
something bigger. I didn't want something that had 300,000 miles, and I'm paying you fucking 3 times, 4 times
Right.
what the KBB
That's
is. on
why
it.
I have not bought one of those, because I was like, I picked my Suburban up out there, my 02, for $2,500, and I
Yeah.
only had 140 on it. I got so lucky with that fucking thing, dude.
Yeah.
And then when I was trying to sell that Tahoe, I was like, everybody wanting 12, 13. I was like, dude, brand new motor, brand new transmission. Like, it's got tires with it. I got the brakes done, got the wheel bearings done. Like, I did a lot of work to this fucking thing, and nobody was wanting it. I was only trying to sell it for like $5,000. And I was like, you know what? If it
it's
doesn't,
not a squatted
it's
out
because it wasn't
fucking
squatted.
Dixie douche
That's
sagging
exactly
wagon.
fucking right. And I was telling
You
Tom,
got
I was
to
like,
throw the cheapest Amazon rims on there.
You got to
squat
put
it.
You got to put
Rubber band tires.
I told
custom.
Tom if
a custom horn where you hit the horn and it goes.
Oh, light bar. You got to buy that. You got to buy that $20 light bar that puts out like 5 lumens.
I told
Put
Tom,
a
I
yee
said,
sticker on the
Yeah,
back.
yee.
if I couldn't sell this thing in the next couple months, I was like, dude, I'm gonna squat it my fucking self, put some 24s on there, and
told
then
him.
up the price by.
I was
10
like, you got to
fucking
sell
grand.
your soul if
I
you're
was
trying to
That's
sell
what
this
you have
stuff.
to
dead
do.
ass
It.
serious.
Nobody's looking at that price range. They're looking for squatted
Yeah.
with the rims, rubber band
Yeah.
tires.
But mine was unmolested
Dixie douche
suspension.
sagging wagon.
Yeah.
Any mechanic or anybody that just knows vehicles, you want the unmolested one to build. You
Yeah.
don't want the one that's already been
I-
fucked with.
Yeah.
I mean, my front lift is 16 inches. My rear lift is.
I got a story about that.
Negative,
too.
No.
negative 14 inches.
No.
I can't figure out why my transmission keeps going out.
I got a
I'll
story
tell
about
you
that
what.
one. I got a
Me
story
and my
about that
pal
one too.
Epstein have never had anything that wasn't molested.
I worked on a squatted vehicle at the shop, and we had to put a motor in the. fucking
Here
thing.
come the bots.
Surprise, and the bots.
Yeah, just spam.
Well, anyways, we had to put a motor in this fucking squatted thing. When you go up under, the guy said he had it sold for $9,000. That's why we were putting a motor in there.
Okay.
No fucking way. Wait, I'll tell you why. When I got underneath it to even start the motor job, he had these traction bars, the aftermarket traction bars. They were connected in the front, but on the back they were hanging on by zip ties.
No.
So it was all for looks.
I'll have you know
All
that he's
for looks.
given me a motor job before.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you.
I don't know what it is with people, but it's a lot of like aesthetics.
Well, he never sold that car either.
Fucking Chuck's like, get botted.
Because he came back, I think it was like 2 or 3 months later, and he said that the guy went up and checked it out, and he was like, "Fuck no." But he still wants us to work on it. Like, no, we didn't touch that thing.
Yeah,
I didn't even know how to top off the tranny fluid. Not
Transmission.
that I don't know how to.
Transmission.
Not that I didn't know how to
Transmission.
top off the transmission
Transmission.
fluid. Not that I didn't know how to top off the transmission fluid, but because it was squatted. I mean, those things only hold like 12 to 13 quarts, and if you got the big transmission, it's about 16.
You were topping the fluid of a what?
Aye. Aye. But you want it to be at the right level. It shows on the dipstick.
Yeah.
And when it's squatted like this, and on the 4L60, the dipstick tube is connected up front.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Put 4 quarts in there extra just to get it to read on the thing? Like, you're adding way too much. You're gonna blow out some seals, dude.
Just wait until Tom finds out what people call diagonal cutters.
Oh.
Well, I want to know.
Dykes?
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, hey, guy, come on, man.
They're
Literally
diagonal cutters.
Yeah, diagonal cutters.
They're literally. It's literally the
Nope.
name of a tool.
No, it's a
Dykes.
diagonal
No.
cutter.
Diagonal
Diagonal
cutters.
cutter is the name.
Diagonal
of the tool.
cutters.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Man, it's 2022. Come on, grow up.
Come on. You cannot be using your dikes on a tranny.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't, because if you're using diagonal cutters on a transmission, something's gone really wrong.
No, you know, you
your
get a.
account has been suspended.
Now, have you ever tried to use diagonal cutters as a hammer? I love that.
No, that's what the adjustable
I do.
hammer is for.
I do
Yeah.
when I'm nailing a nail to the wall and I can't find my hammer, and when I'm hanging up a picture, then I use one of those.
No.
No,
the
that's
best
what your
hammer.
adjustable hammer is for.
No, man.
Apparently, Jerry fell.
What?
He sent me a message that said "man down."
He's fallen and he can't get up.
I guess he got hurt.
Is he in a hotel room?
Poor little bit. He has a towel wrapped.
No.
Does he
Poor
live in a
guy.
hotel?
No, it's not a towel. That's a leg brace.
Does he
wonder
live in a
what he did.
hotel?
I don't fucking know. He owns 37 houses, but still lives in hotels. I don't
Jerry,
know. I don't know what
You wanna
he's
hear,
doing with
uh,
his life.
You want to hear a cool story about some experience I got in the Army?
Okay,
And
as
what
long
your
as it's
tax
not about a
dollars went
Dodge
to?
Journey.
No, please
Sure.
don't.
So, you know how like
Are we allowed to talk about that?
We got
allowed
like
to?
20 minutes tops.
Yeah.
10 minutes tops.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick.
So you know how fuel cans in the Army or military
Donkey
look
dick.
very
Jerry
similar.
can.
Donkey
Whoa,
dick.
whoa,
Donkey
whoa!
dick. Donkey dick. Donkey
You
dick.
can no
donkey
longer
dick.
say that in the Army or any military branch.
Donkey dick.
It's fuel spell. So
Donkey
the
dick.
fuel cans look a lot like water cans, besides
The
the
color.
3 handles to 1 handle. No,
Right.
they're same color.
Yeah.
The same color.
Yeah, they're just tan.
It's one has 3 handles, one has 1. The water has 1. So for PT, medics thought it would be a great idea to throw water in these fuel cans for exercising, right? After they get done with it, what would they do? Dump it out, you know?
No.
yeah,
No,
totally. Leave the
absolutely
caps
not.
off so they'll dry out. And
Yeah, no,
Absolutely
no.
not.
They took it and put it back with the other cans that had fuel in them. So for a while, we kept getting Humvees in, right? That kept having issues of starting, right? What the fuck is
Why
this?
is that?
Yeah. So then they have a little spout where you can open up, connects to the fuel line that comes into the engine, and will distribute fuel. For whatever reason, people think that's where you drain it, but it actually pulls fuel before it makes it to the engine, so it starves it. But so check it, right? Grab a Gatorade bottle. You're like, cool, maybe it's dirty fuel, something. Check it, and you're like,
You
smells.
You press on the petcock.
Still smells like fucking.
What?
Petcock.
No, you lift it up like you would have like water.
I know.
fountain.
Yeah.
You lift your pet's cock.
I've done a PMCS
It's
before.
it's
okay.
it's a bowl. You got to milk it some way.
I figured it was a
It's
bull.
literally
Let's be honest. Have you?
yes. It's
Did you have a tin manual?
yes.
Are we doing dick measuring about time
It
in
is
the military
literally
right now?
called a petcock.
I know.
Look it up.
I won't.
What are you talking
Okay.
about? You won't look up
It's
your
a pet
pet's
cock.
cock.
He'll look up a Dodge Journey, but not a petcock.
Yeah.
GMC Acadia.
And
I
sometimes
feel like that's
and
more accepted in the world.
and
I fucking
Chevy
wish it
Traverse.
wasn't.
if you check
Same
the
thing.
if you check the petcock and it's dirty, use your dikes on the tranny to make sure
And we're
that
banned.
That your donkey dick is clean.
your donkey dick is
Yeah.
clean. That's right.
Demonetized.
But so
We were never monetized. Let's be honest.
so we end up
Alright,
having the issue like these engines waterlocked. So we had I think it was like 3 or 4 Humvee engines in a month, right? After we replaced those, you know, everybody got yelled at. We were like, okay, we're good. So we got Matt V's, right? They just gave us, they were under warranty and everything. So one day we're sitting there and they're like, hey, I need you to go recover this Matt V that's stuck in the main road of posts at the gate. Well, what the fuck happened? Engine just died. Same fucking thing. Took a fuel can full of water and dumped it in this. I could be wrong. I want to say they're about $1 million for that truck. It was still under
Easily.
warranty. So we had that happen twice to 2 different Matt V's. Yeah, it was a shit show.
So stupid.
We also had people come from Pacific Pathways, and when they refueled before they left, regular gas in there. Fuck those engines all the way
It's
up.
too bad we still got to pay taxes for stupidity.
Yeah.
Dude, just wait till
Yeah,
you
we're
find
all
it.
paying for that.
Just wait till you find out that a lot of their budgets have use it or lose it dollars,
Yeah.
where if they don't spend the money that's on the
Yeah.
budget, the budget gets reduced, which
Yep.
that signs that you can
Look.
kind of sort of understand that. But
There's
then,
a reason you shoot all the ammo you take to the
but
range.
yeah, but then in addition to having a use it or lose it budget, they also have like sort of restrictions on what they can and can't buy. So let's say this amount of your use it or lose it budget, let's call it $60,000, can only be spent on these things. And you're like, well, that makes no sense to me. And then that's how you find out why Torrey Station, an army base on a subtropical island, has snowmobiles. Because they had a use it or lose it budget, and the only thing that they could purchase
Nice.
with that part of the budget was fucking snowmobiles.
Why not?
Snowmobiles in the desert.
Hey,
baby.
they work on sand.
I mean, those fucking things never left their crates.
They work on sand, bro. They work on sand. All right. That's all I'm saying. All right. So, Matt, final thoughts.
Of what?
Your
All
life.
right, Jared, final thoughts.
Can I give suggestions?
Fuck you.
No,
Will,
just
final
final thoughts, man. Just give us
Final thoughts?
give us
thoughts?
a moment of zen. Give us
Zen?
something to think about as we leave.
Learn your own maintenance on your car so you don't get ripped off. That's a big one.
That's good.
Basic maintenance, at least.
We talked about that before you got here.
Did you?
Yes, we did actually.
Be honest
Um,
with the mechanic when you take it to the shop. Please.
Know
do.
your
If you-
morals.
If you filled your gas tank with water,
Just say
because
Yeah.
something.
because
Don't feel stupid. Just say
because you're
something. We're
too
here
cool to
fix
do
it.
regular PT.
instead of draining, we're just going to keep running it until it's all gone.
If you jump start a vehicle and the wires are backwards, just tell us. Please tell us.
Why would they do that?
Dude, we talked about it earlier. You missed it. You should have fucking been here like you were supposed to, but it's
Fowler, final thoughts.
If you're looking, you ain't cooking.
All right. Matt?
If you ain't first, you're last.
Hey.
All right, I like it.
Woohoo, NASCAR lift turn.
My final thoughts are going to be that our next episode of FBVtv podcast is going to be Saturday, the 12th of February. We're going to have our guest, Travis Cash and Chuck Hutton. They're both going to be on, both veterans. We're going to talk about life on the warrior side of Bagram in Afghanistan before we gave it to the Taliban. And then we're going to talk about, sorry, had to go there. And then I think we're also going to talk about some Ranger shit because that's what Rangers talk about. They talk about Ranger shit. We appreciate you guys so much for joining us. Thanks to Jerry. Thanks to Austin. Thanks to who I think is Chuck. Yep. I'm pretty sure it's Chuck. Thank you guys for stopping by. We really appreciate it. If you guys have anyone that you know that is local in the area that you know would like to be on, hit us up. Especially if you have something that specifically that you guys want to talk about, whether it be a cause, a business, whatever the case may be, hit us up. Let us know. We'll get you scheduled.
Don't forget
on
to
the podcast.
like, share, comment, subscribe.
Yep, and if
hit the buttons below.
Yeah, you have to hit the little bell icon so it notifies you when we go live and when we have a new video posted. If I didn't remind you of that, Becken would kill me. So thank you guys for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Yee.
Now, I've always wondered what my buddy Jeffrey Epstein's final thoughts
Good night,
were.
folks. We appreciate you guys. And just for information, Trish was our producer this episode. We appreciate you. You did a great job. Everything looked good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna keep you around. All right. And something I didn't tell you when we started this is when we're ready to go, you hit the intro button. I think she got it. Thanks, guys.